continental trophies in El Ahly's history.
talkSPORT.com has all the reaction to Howe's exit from Newcastle. Still a huge day for the very soul of football as UEFA members meet to work out how to react to Gianni Infantino's efforts to sell off the World Cup. Even the European Commission, the EU's lawmakers, have released a statement on it today, saying they are monitoring the proposal and will assess any complaint about it that comes their way. Chelsea have signed Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace today. He's signed for 6 years. And England have confirmed Stephen Fleming as their Test cricket coach, and his captain will be Joe Root. He returns to the role to replace Ben Stokes, who quit just before Brendan McCullum was sacked, though of course he does remain with the white ball team. Here's talkSPORT's legendary England bowler, Steve Harmison.
He's somebody who I think will be very, very thorough. And if you listen to the likes of Nasser Hussain keep talking on about attention to detail and why Brendan McCullum's not Test coach anymore because of the Ashes debacle. Stephen Fleming, he seems a little bit more of a calmer character.
And of course, there'll be loads more on this on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
Sizewell B nuclear power station is on high alert, and the Bank of England has held interest rates at 3.75%.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The season's changing, so get your car's shim pads and studs checked for summer with a free vehicle safety check. Book in centre or at quickfit.com today.
Fresher with sunshine in the north as showers move away towards the southeast, though it will stay windy and wet across Scotland. Those showers reaching the southeast by early evening.
Good afternoon, this is Hawksby and Jacobs on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink alongside Charlie Baker. Charlie, what's coming up on today's show?
Thought you sounded very jolly then, Ollie.
Too jolly.
Despite things, we're going to hear from you in a second. Well, we'll take a deep dive into the huge news about your club, Ollie, with Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle United. The former Toon manager, Sam Allardyce, will join us for his reaction. And we want to hear from you too. It's 03717 223344. Get your calls in. 03717 223344.
Yeah, I'm wiping away the tears. We'll also be joined later on by the former Luton striker and hardest man in football, allegedly, Mick Harford. We can ask him if he believes that as well, but everyone else does.
Hard men don't say they're hard, Ollie.
True.
Seen enough films. Anyway, carry on.
And on the anniversary of England's 1966 World Cup win, legendary commentator Martin Tyler will be with us to share his memories of that day.
Yes, all of that plus we'll talk about the new England Test head coach with Mark Butcher and new captain as well. New captain, same as the old captain. And we'll bring you more live racing from glorious Goodwood.
We will indeed. It's just gone 4 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Ollie. We were putting the show together, and then the Eddie Howe news broke. You are a huge Newcastle United fan and podcaster, and you know it is your life. Tell us how you feel, mate.
Yeah, I've never done so many emergency podcasts in one day. I was going to ask you, have you ever done an emergency Hawksby and Jacobs daily podcast?
Not today, no, not recently, no. But tell us how you feel about Eddie Howe going.
I think the timing is a bit strange, if I'm honest. But there were rumblings at the end of last season. The domestic form wasn't good enough. They came 12th. There was a lot to juggle. It was a really, really poor summer of transfers last time. There was panic buys. There were signings that simply didn't work. But the form wasn't good enough. He held on till the end of the season, but it looks like it's with mutual consent. You know, he's walked away from this too. And I think from his perspective, he's looking at it and going, well, Anthony Gordon's gone. Sandro Tonali's also gone. Bruno Guimaraes could go too. And I don't think this news helps any fans who were believing that Bruno Guimaraes was going to stay and not move on to Arsenal, because that must be a part of it. There's even been links with Lewis Hall. And then you look at the shift in transfer policy. They're bringing in all these young players. And he's decided that he's had enough with it, really. But I think a bit of a shock, like I say, with the timing. But they've lined up this replacement, Matthias Jaisler. I did some rapid searches on Wikipedia. I texted as well European football expert Kev Hatchard. And we heard from Seb Stafford-Bloor, who's the Athletics German correspondent too, a bit earlier on White and Jordan. And they all think it's a good appointment, to be fair. So I'm
Matthias Jaisman.
The Yes Man.
The Yes Man.
He's already got a nickname. The Yes Man. Well, I hope he's not that. But I'm clinging to that at the moment. But yeah, it's an appointment out of absolutely nowhere. And I keep thinking, what you want is it to be a Brighton and Hove Albion shrewd appointment of a 38-year-old.
Yeah.
What you don't want is that it's a Liam Rosenior style from Strasbourg and he's completely out of his depth and it all goes wrong.
Before we move on from Eddie Howe, you're a huge Newcastle United fan. What does Eddie Howe mean to the fans? What did he bring to the club? What has he brought to the fans?
Well, honestly, I do just want to say thank you to Eddie Howe, because whatever you think of how the last season went and your frustrations with him, I think every Newcastle United fan should thank him for his time at the club, keeping us up when he first came in. They were destined for the drop. He brought us Champions League football, unbelievably memorable 22-23 season where he brought that new identity, aggressive, hard-working. He said they weren't there to be popular, they were there to compete. It was everything you wanted to hear as a Newcastle fan. Got into the Champions League, battered PSG 4-1, one of the most memorable nights at St James's Park. And then he brings us the first domestic trophy in 70 years. And I was so lucky, Charlie, to be at Wembley for that day. Yeah. And I'm 30, you know, and actually it was something I never thought that I would see in my lifetime. But there were also fans there, older than me, of a certain vintage, with tears running down their cheeks. And that's Eddie Howe's achievement. He brought us that moment. And that's why he should be thanked so much for that. It's a shame that it's ended this way, but look, it's football. These things happen. But what is quite interesting is how he will be commemorated at the club and whether he should be.
What's his legacy, do you think? Is he a plaque? Is he the Eddie Howe suite? Is he the Eddie Howe stand? Is he the ultimate, the Eddie Howe statue? Which of those? I think that's the order.
Are you putting stand below statue?
I'm putting stand below statue.
Are you?
No, I don't know now. Now I've said it out loud. I don't know. People need to look 8, 10, 89.
Is stand below statue?
What order does it go to? Plaque, suite, stand.
Yeah. What have you got at Torquay? Have you got any?
I've got a Neil Warnock suite.
Ooh, is it nice?
Yeah, very nice indeed.
Is it?
Yeah. Bristow's Bench, which is named after one of the guys who sort of saved us in the past and bought us. But yeah, there's no Charlie Baker T-bar yet. But, you know...
It's on the way. It's on the way.
If I keep talking about them, then maybe one day. I don't even want it. But no, I'm interested in what Eddie Howe's legacy is because, first trophy in 70 years. I don't know if that gets you a statue. I think it might get you a somewhere to go and have your pre-match pasty.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
there's got. I mean, I tell you what, there needs to be is the Jason Tindall tanning bed. That has to be a fixture. And if there is a statue, Tindall needs to be next to him in bronze. Yeah. That has to happen. I think Eddie Howe should be in a different colour, just so we know that tan should.
We're interested today in what you've got at your club. If you've got a toilet named after someone, or a T-bar named after someone, or something like that, let us know on 81089 0371 7223344. We are taking calls from Newcastle United fans, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Really want to know your views. What you think of this moment for the club? It will be the start of a new era. What you make of this new appointment, Matthias Jaisler? You know, it's not a big name. It's not an established name. He seems to have done well where he's been so far, RB Salzburg and over in Saudi Arabia. But you could understand why fans would be concerned. And then you think about the departures they've had already so far this season. We're less than a month away from the start of the new campaign. And
you sold all your players.
Yeah, and well,
Eddie Howe.
Yeah, and Eddie Howe's gone. And you look at the loss yesterday to Bristol City, 4-1. Some of the goals
pre-season doesn't matter.
Pre-season, but some of the goals are comical. And do you know what's interesting? Afterwards, Eddie Howe actually came out and went, "Yeah, I thought we played really well, to be fair." And it just, that for me is so a teacher putting on a film on the last day of school, isn't it? Yeah, go on, lads.
Let them wear their own clothes for 50p.
Yeah. But yeah, just going back to his legacy, he has to go down as one of Newcastle's greatest ever managers. Okay. And there's certainly a debate, where he ranks in that list. But for me, has to be in the top 3, purely based on bringing that trophy, but also everything else around that. And a very special 5 years. And actually, I heard a caller earlier on White and Jordan made a very good point and said, look, unless you are among the ilk of a Pep Guardiola, of a Sir Alex Ferguson, etc., 5 years is a good stint.
I was going to say, a manager lasting 5 years is a long time. And also with PSR, he's had his hands tied behind his back. So he's done that with, he's had some brilliant players at his disposal, but he's not been able to go out and really splash the cash, isn't he? And whenever anyone did well, you'd lose them, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's very true.
Look at Isak leaving and, all those.
Yeah, and actually, I think you're right when you look at some of the parameters that he's had to deal with, that kind of lack of being able to build on the successes that he'd already had. And in many ways, I think, especially when you look early on, he might have overachieved with some of the players that he had, which is, testament to him as a coach. But at the same time, Newcastle grew maybe too quickly for them to then reinvest well enough for him to build on the successes he had. And part of that was to do with the restrictions. But
what do you think his future is?
Good question. Of course, I think the first thing you think of is England. The first thing you think of, because he is the best English manager out there. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel has the backing of the FA, despite that shambles against Argentina. He says he's going to have a break from football, step away for a year or so, but it's kind of what challenge he wants to take on next, whether that's another league job or does he wait it out maybe for after the Euros, however that goes, and see if he can take that top job. The problem for him is, if Thomas Tuchel then wins the Euros, he'll have waited for 2 years or so, and then he'll be out. So again, timing a bit strange, but whatever happens, Charlie, I wish him well.
Yeah,
I really do wish him well, because he's been a legend.
But there's normally only 2 ways a manager leaves the club, and it's normally actually only one, that they get sacked, because they, only Alex Ferguson has sort of really ever gone with his head held high. Maybe Jurgen Klopp, he chose to leave, didn't he? But you go, he was either only going to get sacked, or he was going to start the season, do badly, and get moved out. So, I think it sounds like the best way. Yeah,
absolutely. 81089 then on the text. I love that idea of people coming in with interesting thing that is named after a player or a manager or a certain figure at your club.
Yeah, Anonymous been in touch. If you don't put your name on it, you're just a number, so do put your name on it. Liverpool have a James Milner door. Amazing. At the training centre. That's lovely, isn't it? Very, very good indeed. Good afternoon. Well, we'll take these from normal life as well. Good afternoon. My parents named their B&B after me. My middle name is Carlton, so it was called Carlton House. That's John at Deb's Ironing Shop. Good afternoon, John. Very nice. And this is a belter from Rich the Wiltshire Postie. To commemorate Eddie's time at Newcastle, maybe they could name a road after him. Maybe they could call it the Howee.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful, Rich.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And also, Newcastle fans, do you think there should be a commemoration for Eddie Howe? What do you think it should be, too? Because, listen, obviously there's been some incredible tributes to Kevin Keegan since his very sad passing. And I think, surely the club will have something planned for him too, and it's whether you put Eddie Howe in that bracket and when it should come as well. When should that commemoration come too for him? But so we'd love your views on that. Plenty to come today, though. Alongside that, we're going to be joined a bit later by Mick Harford.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. The show today is packed with proper football.
Oh yeah,
proper football men.
What an hour this is. We've got
Allardyce and Harford. Imagine them up front.
And then a bit later on, we'll bring you some live racing from Glorious Goodwood too. Looking forward to that. And Mark Butcher, the former England batsman, is going to join us to talk about all those changes at the top for English Test cricket. This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. First stop, Toolstation.
absolutely devastated.
Go on.
If it was down to me, Eddie Howe would have been the manager for the next 10 years. I think he's been let down by the owners, the board. You've only got to look at the way the club's being run. I mean, how many directors of football, different people coming in, like, above him. His hands are tied. Like, I don't blame him. Like, I respect him for walking. 2 weeks ago, we missed out on a target, and we said about other targets. 2 weeks later, we still haven't signed anybody. We're signing young kids. We're losing our best players. Isaac told the club that he wanted to leave after the cup final. Now, if a player doesn't want to play for you, get rid of him. They had the opportunity to get rid of him. We had a deal agreed, Ekitike to Newcastle, personal terms agreed, medical booked in, fee agreed, in Newcastle. Hummed and hawed out, selling Isaac. As soon as he wanted to know, they should have said, we've got a replacement, sell him, Ekitike signs for Newcastle. They messed about. Liverpool ended up signing Ekitike, and then the new Isaac was going to go as well, so the player would line up to replace him. We lost them both. And then we end up panicking last couple of days of the window, and we're saying two lads that wouldn't get a game from me on a Sunday morning.
Breaking news on talkSPORT. Eddie Howe is the new Newcastle manager. He's agreed a contract at St James's Park.
Well, it feels fantastic to be head coach of Newcastle. I'm absolutely honoured, privileged. It's an incredible moment in my life.
I think he's the best thing that's ever happened to Newcastle since Bobby Robson left.
What a famous victory this is for Newcastle United. What a night. Newcastle 4, Paris Saint-Germain 1.
Newcastle United have won the Carabao Cup. It's been a long time coming, but this is immortal. Eddie Howe and his Newcastle United players spill onto the pitch, having won the Carabao Cup.
Eddie Howe, take a bow. They've got the Angel of the North. Well, Eddie Howe is now the darling of the North East.
Eddie Howe, you've made every one of us Newcastle United fans and us Geordies unbelievably proud today, pal.
And he will now go down as one of the best managers Newcastle have ever had, so I'm so pleased for Eddie.
Oh, sweet, sweet memories, Charlie.
Lovely memories.
Sweet memories. They've had
immortal.
And all
That's
the
what
screens.
Sam Allardyce called it immortal when you won the Carabao.
It is immortal.
It is immortal. It is.
Because it's that moment, isn't it?
It's forever, yeah.
Do you know what? We're going to talk a bit later about County Mayo and breaking that curve.
Oh,
75 years.
Fantastic, yeah.
And that's what that all felt like when it happened. And actually, whatever you think about how he's got on, you can't take that away. Sad day. Sad day because you reflected on the memories of a great era.
You reflecting on your younger self when you were successful, Ollie.
Now I'm stuck in with you.
Now here you are.
Eddie Howe's gone.
One of us. One of us.
This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink, alongside Charlie Baker. Yeah, Eddie Howe has left at Newcastle United. We want your calls, 0371722 3344. Glenn is a Newcastle fan. Glenn, how are you feeling today?
Hello, Glenn.
Gutted, not surprised, concerns now for what the future holds for us.
Yeah.
I think what Eddie did for us was outstanding, and he'll go down as a hero for the club. But I'm not surprised he's gone. He's had 3, potentially 4 of his best players sold, with no real players brought in to replace them. There's been no forward thinking or communication from the owners. Amanda going, I think, has been a major problem because the link between the club, the fans, and Eddie has gone.
Right, yeah.
I think the Saudis have lost. I think they lost interest. You know, before they were involved with everything that's going on, training ground, a new stadium, which I think is just a pipe dream and smoke and mirrors. I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm generally concerned for what we've got coming future-wise.
Yeah, when you say there about the fact that he's lost all his big stars, etc., there'll be some Newcastle fans, Glenn, that will say, but hold on, he finished 12th last season, league form wasn't good enough, the writing was on the wall. Is that another element why you're not surprised that he's gone?
It is, but at the same time, if you look at what we've had Champions League football, we've not had a squad big enough to compete with the Premier League. When we've not been in Champions League football, we've done all right. Now, yes, PSR's been a massive factor in it, but the owners knew what they were getting when they bought the club. They knew the situation, and I don't think they've thought into it fully.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. You mentioned the owners maybe losing interest a bit. They have pulled their money out of Live Golf, and that does make me wonder if they did know what they were getting into with PSR.
I don't think they did. I really don't think they did. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they came in and they got rid of our old owner. You know, I'm pleased he went. What we've had since they've taken over has been a success to an extent. But like I say, I don't think, you know, we've got all the money in the world, you know, richest club in the world apparently, richest owners in the world, but we can't buy a Mars bar.
Yeah, it seems like we've hit a wall, really. Just on Eddie Howe's legacy there, we were talking about, you know, commemorating him as one of Newcastle's best ever managers. How do you see that, Glenn? What do you think that the club should do or could do to commemorate his 5 years at the club?
I think he wants some recognition to an extent. I think he won his first trophy in 50-odd years.
Yeah.
So I think he does need something. Is a statue too much? Potentially, you know. I did like the Howe way. I think
that's nice. I think that's a nice idea.
I
fantastic
quite
idea.
Like that, in all fairness.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
good.
mean? So, I don't know. I say yes, but I'm saying no. You then start rewarding every manager for a little bit of success and give him a statue. And if you did, you'd have statues all around the country popping up left, right, and centre.
Yeah, very true. I think the Howe way might be the way to go. Glenn, thanks very much. 03717 22 33 44.
Let's pretend we came up with it, Ollie. And then,
well, we did.
Well, we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Anonymous text, though. So.
Well, I don't know if it was anonymous. Anyway, carry on.
Carry on anyway. Joel's a Newcastle fan. Joel, how are you feeling about Eddie Howe leaving the club?
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. I'm going to throw a house party tonight.
Okay. But you bought your first trophy in 70 years, Joel.
See, yeah, and you'll be remembered as a legend, mate. But it was time to go, mate. He's leaving as a hero, and he was going to be leaving as a villain if it went on any longer, mate.
Yeah, I do think that's a good point, Joel. Even the end of last season, even if you look at that form around April and the amount of rumblings that were there, is there an element for you where you think the club could have acted a bit quicker here? Because then you saw some big name managers move on to other jobs, and Newcastle could have been sniffing around.
I think he should have walked after the second derby, mate. I think he should have been out the door after the second derby.
So
the money he's had, mate. People are saying, oh, he hasn't been back. He had £250 million last summer, and he wanted Elanga, Wissa, Walter. Fair enough, he didn't get Ekitike in them, which is that's fair enough. But he still had £250 million in his hands.
Yeah.
And look at the results for last season, mate. They're not good enough.
Yeah.
Wissa was injured, wasn't he? And he didn't really get fit. Even when he
didn't really kick on.
He had a great World Cup, so he could come in and do some stuff.
Yeah. Joel, there is an element, isn't there, though, that Howe did have credit in the bank, and it's one bad season. But for you, it's almost like the end of a cycle, isn't it? And I think that's the point. It's 5 years, the end of a bit of an era at Newcastle, isn't it? And maybe time for some fresh ideas.
I think the players need it as well. I think if you look at the players on the pitch, they need the change as well. I think we need a breath of fresh air. I don't know much about this new manager, but I've seen him bombing up and down the touchline with his turtleneck on.
Yeah.
And he looks the business.
Okay.
You're excited by him.
All right, get the milk tray man in. That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. He's very kind of looks a bit like Stephen Bartlett, like CEO, with the turtleneck kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that who you want in charge?
That's not who I want in
charge. Really. Not really. 03717 22 33 44. Let's hear from.
You're selling him to me, please.
Let's hear from the departed Newcastle boss, Eddie Howe, who spoke to...
He stinks of fish.
Yeah.
You like it, you'll like him.
You'll love him. He's great. He's great.
Drives an Audi, you'll like him.
Let's hear from the departed Newcastle boss, Eddie Howe, who spoke to the media last night after his side were thrashed 4-1 by Bristol City in pre-season. He was asked about the defeat and the state of the squad.
Ideally, you don't want to lose. I mean, I'm not saying that we're happy to lose. We're not. We wanted to win the game, but you do want to test. You don't want that. For me, you don't want the games to be too easy. I mean, you coming here with the squad that we have and the current state of their physical well-being in terms of we haven't trained for too long compared to a championship team who no doubt be a week to 2 weeks ahead of us. We knew it'd be very difficult. We felt we'd probably be strong enough to do better than we did in terms of scoreline, but I'm really pleased the players came through extended minutes. Fitness levels look pretty good, and we'd be better for the game.
Yeah, let's be honest. He's checked out.
He's on his way out there, and he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
But he's, you know what he is. He's a proud man, and he's sort of, I respect him. I like how he speaks.
Well, I mean, the club
seems to want to do the job.
Yeah, the club have asked him to stay on for a few weeks whilst they look for their successor, and he has agreed to do that rather than just saying no, I'm done now, I'm leaving. So I guess there's an element of respect there for him. Let's go to Lee, who's an Everton fan. Lee, what do you want to say on this, mate?
Yeah, hi guys, enjoy the show.
Thanks, mate.
Just wanted to put a different slant on it, see what you guys thought.
Okay.
Eddie Howe, boyhood Evertonian. David Moyes, there's no one in place as Scotland manager. What your thoughts on Moyes going to Scotland, Eddie Howe, the Everton job?
Yeah, I mean, West Ham fans, a lot I know, curse the day they let go of David Moyes. I think what he does at clubs is really strengthen them, and make them solid and hard to beat, and that's what Everton have done, isn't it? I think the problem does come when they try to kick on a bit. But is the grass always greener? Would you want rid of David Moyes for Eddie Howe?
Well, I just think, Moyes, he was 10, 11 years at Everton, as you know, first time round. Done well, got us challenging for Europe year in, year out. It just seems now that he done reasonably well last season until we fell off a cliff at the end, last half dozen games. And I'm just wondering, new stadium, new owners with plenty of dosh. Maybe it's time for a clean sweep. As I say, Eddie Howe, boyhood blue, would he jump at the chance of coming to Everton? And David Moyes, he's no spring chicken. A Scotland job may suit him down to the ground.
It's an interesting idea.
It is an interesting idea, especially with that link with Eddie Howe being an Everton fan. It's just the only thing is he's said that he's going to take a bit of a break here from football. Maybe in the future, not a bad shout.
So am I till someone offers me 12 million quid a year. And then all of a sudden I feel refreshed.
Has that happened yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. It will, though. It will.
I'm going to take a break. Here's 12 million quid. I'm amazed. I feel like I've got so much energy.
I'm back.
Oh, you failed for 2 months. You're sacked. Here's £8 million for failing. Thanks. How do you get one of these jobs, Ollie?
Oh, no idea. No idea. I wish I knew.
I
wish I knew. Thanks very much for your call. 03717 22 3344. Keep your calls coming in and your texts on 81089. If you're a Newcastle fan, should Eddie Howe be commemorated by the club? If so, how? And what is the ranking? I mean, you get a plaque, you get a bench. We're trying to push.
Bench is low.
We're trying to push our idea.
Bench is low. Anyone can have a bench.
I think Harry Kane's got a bench.
You buy your own bench.
Oh, yeah. And just describe it.
Is it like having giving yourself a nickname?
Bakes. What, Bakes?
No one calls me Bakes.
It's people who introduce themselves with their nickname.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's
too much. No. Bench, plaque. Don't know which is first there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet's good.
I think
a little sweet.
I think stand is below statue.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
I don't. Come on, stand's great. Oh, I sat in the Sir Alex. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't sit on a statue, do you? Unless you've won something, and then everyone crowds around the statue.
Yeah. Or you put a hat on it.
A hat on the statue, yeah, exactly.
Right.
So give us your text on that, 81089. This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT.
it has gone crazy, but I think that you almost have to just suspend your reality.
And not the worst things about this crazy spending. How many in the history of the Premier League have actually landed?
No, that's true.
One?
I would say of the most
Van Dijk, one
of the most expensive players in the Premier League. Like Romelu Lukaku is on that list twice.
Yeah.
And he failed twice. Paul Pogba is on that list.
Yeah.
Failed.
Harry Maguire's not failed, but
yeah. I mean, Andrei Shevchenko at one point would have been on that list. Failed. Fernando Torres at one point would have been on that list. Failed.
Yeah.
There are countless examples of players who have moved for huge amounts of money, come with that level of expectation.
Declan Rice has lived up to it.
Declan Rice has most certainly
still too much, but he's lived up to it.
Well, Declan Rice is actually an interesting one because I would argue that if there is a £100 million player, Declan Rice is it. Declan Rice.
That's 100 million.
I think Declan Rice has
100 million.
Well, if you look at what Declan Rice has done since he's been at Arsenal, he won European silverware, uninspiring European silverware in my opinion, but he won European silverware at West Ham. He then went to Arsenal and was the catalyst to them ending a 20-year Premier League trophy drought. So yeah, I think if anybody's worth, he's been a stalwart.
Good afternoon, this is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink, alongside Charlie Baker. We're in for Paul and Andy this afternoon. The big news today, Eddie Howe has left as Newcastle manager. We've been chatting a bit, haven't we, about how he could be commemorated as a bit of a club legend.
We're discussing also whether statue is above stand.
Oh, yeah.
I will say
we've had a heated
debate. There's a lot of baddies. There's a lot of evil people with statues. There's not many evil people with stands.
Yeah, and that's why stands are above statues.
I don't think that's true. Statue is top, says Rob H, as it's a purpose built and therefore celebrates something commemorative. A stand is pretty inconsequential, says Rob. Here we go. Matthew says, stand below statue. You're having a laugh, Charlie. They gave Alex Ferguson a stand. I know, but he's got a statue there as well. Yeah. He's got both.
He's got both, yeah.
More.
There's the Brian Moore stand at Priestfield, Gillingham, as well.
Is there?
Legendary commentator.
Oh, very
and Martin Tyler's going to join us a little bit later on. Has he got a stand at Woking? We need to ask.
No, I don't know if he's got a stand at Woking, but he was brilliant there. Club legend.
The training ground is named after Martin Tyler.
Oh, is it?
That's good. training ground.
That's pretty good, isn't it? 'Cause that means you've done something for the
youth
for the guts of the club. Our next guest has got something named after him at Luton.
He must do.
He must do. I'm going to Google it. He'll know. He'll be able to tell us.
He will indeed. Because our next guest is the former Luton striker and manager. Sorry.
He's later on, is he?
He's a bit later on.
Weeks later on.
Sorry. Joining us now is the former Newcastle United.
Oh, brilliant.
Sam Allardyce. Sam, how are you doing?
Hello, Sam.
Get your facts right.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry, mate.
You got anything named after you? Maybe at Bolton.
No,
you must have something at Bolton, Sam, no?
No, not at all, unfortunately. No.
The campaign starts now.
Does.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, good.
The statue would have to have you in your Tash days, I think, Sam.
That's right, yeah. Long gone, that is.
Sam, talk to us then about this news that Eddie Howe has left at Newcastle United. It's a position you once held with manager at the club. What was your reaction when you saw the news?
Very sad. I think that obviously I know Newcastle quite well. I know a lot of people up there as well, and I spoke to him this morning, and I think the internal ins and outs at Newcastle have been a downfall to where, as always, it's the manager that feels the brunt of it, and the manager that gets the sack. And I think the internal changes at the top level, from the chairman or the chairperson downwards into directors of football, have made the mistakes. And of course, Eddie is the man who takes the can and takes the brunt of that, without really being a lot of his fault. And also there's another thing that needs to be aired more than any other, is financial fair play is destroying the game. It's going to leave, there's going to be no challenge to Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. There's going to be no challenges to those clubs with the money, because nobody like Jack Walker can come in and spend their money and invest their money in the game to make their club that they want or they've bought into a challenge at the top level of football. So Eddie's felt the brunt of that by players that have left, probably because of financial play, and of course all the clubs tapping them up that are bigger, and their recruitment has failed them. And Eddie has to take the brunt of that. And you have to bear in mind now that Eddie is the head coach. He's not the manager. Head coach is a massive difference to manager. You're not responsible for players anymore. It's not like the old days where you had to put your neck on the line for the players that you trusted would do better for the club. That's not the case anymore. And, of course, their choices haven't been good enough for Eddie to keep the team up in the Champions League places, winning a cup final, and then the team and the squad is being sold off, whether it's for financial fair play or they just can't turn the money down, and those replacements that have come in haven't been good enough. Now that's not really Eddie's fault. It's more the fault of the upper archy than it is of Eddie's, and he's the last English coach to managing the Premier League now, and will we ever see another English coach managing the Premier League again? This is a sad state of affairs that we're faced with. And I think we've got David Moyes, who's British because he's Scottish, and I think that's it.
Frank Lampard's just come up with Coventry, but that's the point I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. It is a shame when there doesn't seem to be the through line for English or British coaches to get the top jobs, Sam.
No, not at all. I mean, like I said before, and I wish Frank all the best, and I hope he keeps Coventry up and stays as long as he can, because he's our sole representative now, as well as David, of course, if you talk British. And I think that it's like everything else. The sad thing is, it's not only in the Premier League. You look down the leagues and you'll see more foreign imports than ever before. When I saw my friend getting sacked at Salford City this summer, having just failed in the playoffs again to get promoted, and then Salford City appoint a foreign coach. Where do they get off, by the way? I mean, or any club in the lower divisions. There are hundreds of highly qualified coaches that have got the pro license, have got every qualification that's needed throughout the world today to be employed by football clubs that will benefit them and make them better. But of course, we're seeing American input. So I think more than 50% of the entire leagues now have an American input, have an American investment. So we're really running away with foreign owners, foreign imports, foreign managers, foreign coaches, foreign players. So our leagues are not their own. It's because we're the greatest league in the world, of course. We've got the greatest football in the world, and we've got the biggest investment in the world. But that sort of dilutes it in terms of what are we, what is our identity. Our identity is we're just an international football group that allows any and everybody in to buy a football club, play at the football club, manage the football club, or be the coach at the club. So it's a great shame, I think, when there's lots and lots of coaches there who are ready to get a job and ready to have a chance who just can't get one. And I think that is football's big problem. They're not going to look at it. The FA is not going to look at it particularly. They're the ones who you pay your money to get qualified, but they don't find you a job like they should do. LMA tries its best, but even then, because our foreign coaches join the LMA, we can't really go against what they're doing when they're with us. But I'd like to see more of a how can we keep our own. So a lot of these coaches, particularly who can't get a job, are going to fall under the radar, are going to need to get a job. They're not going to get a job in the football, so they're going to need to be retrained like many people in this country today. And I think that, everybody will say, oh, well, the footballers, well, listen, let me tell you, 95% of them still have to pay the mortgage and still have to look after the kids. So don't think they're all financially wealthy and financially okay. There's only 5% that are, and nobody else in under that will have to earn a living, have to pay the mortgage, and have to bring the kids up.
Yeah, we did have Michael Carrick at Man United and Gary O'Neill at Ipswich as well.
Yeah, a couple of those have obviously just come up into the league. But Sam, just going back to Newcastle, it looks like the new man will be Matthias Jaissler, who's been at RB Salzburg, he's been at Al Ahly, seems to have done well so far. But what advice would you give to him coming in at Newcastle United?
I don't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the Northeast for one, which is something he needs to try and get to know as quick as he possibly can, and he needs to really look at what his backroom staff as well as his bosses are going to do to help him, because they certainly haven't helped Eddie in the last year or two.
Yeah,
the team has declined, and Eddie's had to feel the brunt of that. Like you mean So I think that as much as he possibly can, and there's only so much you can say to your bosses in terms of what's happening and how the club's run. Effectively, they can just turn around to you and say, look, you're just employed to do. What that means is if you've not got much of an input on the player that comes in, then you're the one to help responsible. Now, if I get a player that's good enough, I'm so pleased. If I get a player that's not good enough, the directors or the sporting directors will go to the board and say, well, you know what, it's the coach, he doesn't coach him properly. That goes out throughout this game and has done for many years. So that's why the sporting director is a very good asset, but also can be a very big enemy.
Just finally, Sam, how worried do you think Newcastle fans should be about this situation and this change?
Concerned, without a doubt. But like I said, the big concern is obviously I stick up for British managers. I'm bound to do. But the biggest concern is, without a doubt, and still with until somebody goes along with what can we do, is if you want the Premier League to still be the best league in the world, the Premier League needs to be competitive. It's worldwide because the bottom of the Premier League at any stage of the season will beat the top of the Premier League. yeah, and continue to do so. There'll be a team that surprises everybody like they've done last year, like a Brighton or a Bournemouth, you know what I mean? Or a Sunderland, particularly last year, you know, and that's why the Premier League is what it is. Yeah, but if you dilute that by the fact that they're not going to be challenging anybody at the top because of the lack of finance is to be coming into the game and to spend and develop the football club. Any business outside of football, yeah, needs finance to develop. And the finance doesn't come from within the business. It comes from the banks or it comes from the owners. That's all stopped now because of this ridiculous rule that we've got.
Sam, thank you very much.
Brilliant,
indeed
Sam.
for your
Thanks
time.
so much. Lovely to speak to you.
Really appreciate it. There we go. Sam Allardyce, former Newcastle manager. We should name something here after Sammy. As he said, he hadn't got anything at Bolton.
He's got to have something at Bolton, surely.
He's got to have something. What about here? Sam Allardyce Green Room. Should we rename it now? Are we allowed to do that?
I don't know if we're allowed. I don't think we're allowed to do that.
We're not allowed to do that.
Allowed to do that.
Is that just because you want it to be the Charlie Baker?
No. Well, I'm
not going to say anything.
I am bottom of the list for that.
Anyway, keep your texts and calls coming in. 81089 03717 22 3344. This is talkSPORT.
Well, this is probably one that Darryl would be more interested in because it concerns his beloved Liverpool.
Don't sign him. Don't sign him.
You don't want him?
No, not for that kind of money, no. We need a central defender. We need another midfielder. Yes, we need a winger. They spent 100-odd million on him. They're not going to do any more. And we need a right back. I just think, I look at his figures and I look at where he is and whatever else. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. No.
Wow. See, I think he'd be a great addition to the Premier League. But in terms of the figures, obviously PSG were touting over the weekend. They wanted 145 million. I think the opening bid from Liverpool is going to be a lot less than that, maybe nearer the 80 to 100 million pound mark with add-ons. Will that be enough to persuade them to do business? Who knows? But Barker isn't signing a new contract as it stands, so PSG not necessarily in a strong position.
Why do you think he'll be a serious asset in the Premier League? Tell me what he can do in the Premier League. I've looked at all his data. I've seen his Champions League data. I've seen in France. Someone even put up a comparison with Cody Gakpo, and I'm not his biggest fan. Gakpo was pretty much ahead of him in a lot of the data. World Cup goals, Champions League goals, and I'm not no comparison, but you've just made a statement there that you want to see him in the Premier League and whatever. Why?
I think he's a top player. I think he's been a top player for France. He's part of a PSG team that won the Champions League 2 seasons in a row. And I think we need that bit of stardust in the Premier League. We've lost, obviously, Mo Salah. You'd have been sad to see him go. It doesn't look like Vinicius Junior is going to end up on these shores. Yan Diamonde was wanted by Liverpool at one stage, but he's going to Real Madrid.
Good afternoon, this is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink. I'm alongside Charlie Baker this afternoon. And what a guest we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Very much looking forward to this. The former Luton striker Mick Harford is on the way. First up, we need to get an update from the Commonwealth games. We're bringing you all the action on the talkSPORT network, and John Cushing is watching for us.
Yeah, I'll be quick because I love Mick Harford as well. Major controversy in the athletics, Ollie, after Scotland's Mel Woods won gold last night and England's Ellis Cottis the silver, and the entire women's T54 wheelchair 1500 metre final will now take place again tomorrow morning. It comes after a crash between Mauritius, Australia and Canada in the early stages of the race. But Scotland and England went on to win the race, come first and second. They did a lap of honour. They spoke to the media. But now on appeal, judges have decided that the race must be rerun at 10:20 a.m. And look, I understand this is an incredibly rare event, even more so at a major championships, and an incredibly strongly worded statement from Team England, from the chef de mission, Johnny Real, saying we are incredibly disappointed by this late decision. There was no formal protest available to us, and we have strongly challenged the decision. The race officials didn't halt the race at the time of the crash, and there wasn't any immediate decision made to declare the race void or order a rerun. So they are going to be back tomorrow morning. Team Scotland say they note the decision, and Melanie Woods and Joanna Robertson is also in the final, will now prepare to compete again on Friday. But it's unheard of. So 22-year-old Cottas, a Kingston University student, credits David Weir as being her inspiration, woke up this morning as a silver medalist, goes to bed tonight not one. And the same with Mel Woods, a Commonwealth champion this morning, now not one, because she has to go again tomorrow morning. Unbelievable scenes. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I think we should all go to Scotstoun Stadium tomorrow and cheer Woods and Cottas to another gold and silver. And there are tickets available at Glasgow2026.com. Quickly, in the other sport this morning, in the women's mile, in the final, Sophie Calvert of Scotland, she's the British champion. Gemma Reekie of Scotland there, Jess Hull of Australia, the Olympic silver medalist, they're through to Saturday's final. And at the track cycling, here is the big one tonight. In the women's team sprint, it'll be England versus Wales in the final. British Olympic gold medalists Katie Marchant and Sophie Capewell for England against British Olympic gold medalist Emma Finnegan and the Wales team. It's going to be cracking. This is the Commonwealth Games. It's live across the talkSPORT network.
John, thank you very much indeed. Right, it's time to say hello to the former Luton striker and manager, Mr. Luton, Mick Harford. Mick, how are you doing?
Hello, Mick.
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you all.
Yeah, you too. Mick, you're on for a very important cause. You're leading the biggest ever Prostate United campaign. And this is to encourage more men to know about these risks.
Absolutely. And the reason for Prostate United is to raise awareness, to raise money. And you know what men are like. They're very stubborn. They won't go to the doctors to get tested. So please, I'm just sending out that message to all you guys out there over a certain age. Please go and get tested. It's a simple procedure, and it'll be a great burden off your mind and also off your family's mind, who is a burden on them when you are diagnosed with this cancer. And as we say, the earlier we catch it, the better for everyone.
Prostate cancer is the UK's most common cancer. It affects 1 in 8 men. For black men, the risk rises to 1 in 4. I've had both tests you can have, Mick. I've had the blood test and the other one, and both are not unpleasant and not terrible. And it's a brief thing, and it'll save your life. So don't die of embarrassment, I always say.
Well, the finger test up the bum was I quite enjoyed it, and I asked for a second opinion.
Yeah, exactly. That was just in reception.
But no, it's a simple blood test. You're in there 5 minutes, and sorry about that, guys.
That's good, Mick. I'm pleased you said it, and I didn't have to say it.
If Mick Harford said it,
exactly, exactly. So get down the doctors and ask for it, and if they say you can't have it, ask for it again, and then
say Mick sent you.
Genuinely, they'll do it. And Prostate United has raised more than £1 million for Prostate Cancer UK. So brilliant. Thanks, Mick, for raising money for it. Go on, Ollie.
Absolutely. Mick, whilst we have you, the big news today is Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle United. You did have a spell at the club as a player. What were your thoughts when you saw that news?
Very shocked, indeed, when Eddie left there. I mean, he's absolutely terrific manager, and it won't be long before he's back in. It was just a shock, and I think a lot of people saw it coming, and I'm not sure it's got nothing to do with the form of the team or Newcastle finishing below Sunderland, who was my team. But I think it might have had a little bearing on it. But I just think he's been frustrated in the market in terms of recruitment, and I just think it's going to be a bit of a tough time for Newcastle and their great fans, you know.
Absolutely. If we focus on Luton as well, I was at the EFL Trophy final last year, which they managed to win under Jack Wilshere, and then they had that late spurt towards the playoffs. Didn't quite get there, but how are you finding life with Jack Wilshere in charge at the club?
Well, Jack came in at a very difficult time. It was a tough job for a young manager, and Jack's been very, very mature for a young manager. He's managed the club. The players love him. He's managing everything amongst the club. He's a workaholic, and his staff are so. He had a style of play, a system that he wanted to play, and he introduced that. And come the end of the season, the players had grasped it, and they were on real good form, and hopefully we can carry that form into the start of the season. We have to get off to a good start. But overall, Jack's done a great job, and we're all very positive, and hopefully we'll get ourselves in the top part of the league.
Yeah, it must be helpful having you in his corner though as well, Mick, because everyone would want Mick Harford in their corner. Does he ever knock on your door, ask you for any advice?
Well, Jack comes in every day. We say good morning and we have a chat. And that, I wouldn't say he's taken my advice. He's a very, very good coach. He's got the players eating out of his hands at the moment, and they're really, really performing well. The players, and they've had a good pre-season, and hopefully carry that into the season.
Mick, whilst we've got you, by the way, I remember a couple of years ago you were at, I think it was Luton, Manchester United, and you were next to a certain Harry Styles. There was a clip that went viral of you sharing a mint with him. I just wanted to ask you about your experience of watching the game with him. What did you chat about? Did he nick all of your mints?
Well, no, it was a chance meeting because Rob Stringer, who's one of our directors, he looks after Harry Styles because he's the CEO of Sony. So I had lunch with Rob and Harry before the game. Absolutely charming man, brilliant man, got lots of knowledge about football. He is a Manchester United fan. He still lives in the Manchester area. And during the game, I did ask him, I said, who do you think's the best two players on the pitch? And he said, one, Ross Barkley, who was playing for Luton at the time, and Kobe Mainoo. And I actually had to agree with him. So his knowledge of football was very, very good. Lovely guy, and obviously a brilliant entertainer.
Ball knowledge, yeah. You're a fan of his music, Mick? Or
Watermelon Sugar?
Absolutely,
I can see you singing along to Watermelon Sugar. Mick, I can see that.
Down on the way to training.
Yeah, definitely.
Great stuff.
Brilliant. So, how do people support Prostate United, Mick? Is it a matter of going online and finding it?
Yeah, it's the Prostate United website. It's a brilliant website. You go on there and you register. Then you make a team and you become a team, and you either do a walk or a cycle or a run or something just to raise money on there. I mean, what it does, it's football coming together.
Yeah,
it's the fans unite, the clubs unite, the communities unite, and a brilliant quote on their website is all the rivalries are left at the turnstiles, and we all unite together to try and get the word out and try and raise awareness for this terrible disease.
Mick Harford preaching peace. It happened.
It happened live on talkSPORT.
I love it, Mick.
Love it. Mick, thank you so much for joining us.
Mick.
No, it's my pleasure, and thanks again. Have a good one.
No problem. Mick Harford, there, former Luton striker and manager.
He's off back down the doctors by the sound of things.
Maybe. With a bit of Harry Styles on the way as well. Loads still to come for you this afternoon. We're going to be chatting a bit of England cricket a bit later on, and we'll bring you live racing from glorious Goodwood. This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Only got time for one stop. First stop, Toolstation.
Eddie Howe, we understand, is to leave his position as Newcastle manager after 5 years in charge at St James's Park. It looks like this is as much Eddie's decision as it is the club's. I know there's been frustrations in the transfer market with various potential deals falling through. Obviously, Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali, potentially Bruno Guimaraes leaving the club, and it looks like Eddie Howe has decided now is the right time for him to take a break. So Eddie Howe to leave Newcastle, we understand at talkSPORT, after 5 years in the job. Coming in to replace him potentially is the German Matthias Yassel, currently coaching over in the Saudi Pro League with Al Akli. So this could develop very quickly.
Yeah, thanks for that, Quickie. Let's stay there. We've got questions for you. I mean, this is absolutely huge for so many reasons. One is the fact that the start of the Premier League is only, 3 weeks away. Where does this leave Newcastle now?
Well, as I say, they're moving quickly. Just got a message from my colleague Ben Jacobs that Yassel will be the new manager. That deal is already agreed. So I guess a smooth transition in that regard, but it's not.
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Toby Gillis. A day of huge sports news continues. In the last hour, Premier League clubs have unanimously voted through a new funding proposal to be put to the EFL. It is a major breakthrough after talks came to a halt back in 2024. It's understood the proposal will provide £1.5 billion in extra cash for the 72 below the top flight. We'll bring you more on this throughout the afternoon on Talk Sport. We await Newcastle's official confirmation, but there is no doubting it. Eddie Howe has quit as manager. It's understood he was fed up with the transfer situation, with the likes of Tonali and Gordon gone and Guimaraes wanting out, and only youngsters seemingly replacing them. To commemorate the anniversary of England's World Cup win, we had ex-Newcastle boss Jack Charlton's son, John, on talkSPORT. He was chatting to Howe as recently as last Sunday.
Just by his demeanour and what he said, and he didn't actually come out and say he was leaving, but just by his body manner, the way he was talking and the way he was very non-committal, and I walked away and I said to a friend of mine, he's going to leave.
Matthias Jaissler, a two-time Austrian Bundesliga winner with RB Salzburg, who's currently with Al Akli in Saudi, is expected to replace Howe. TalkSport.com is the place for all the reaction to that huge Eddie Howe news. FIFA is understood to be hopeful that the first private investment into its idea to sell off parts of the World Cup will be ready by October. They still need member associations to agree to it, and UEFA members are currently meeting to discuss their response. Many are known to be stringently against it. Chelsea have officially confirmed Maxence Lacroix has signed from Crystal Palace on a 6-year contract, and confirmation of former New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming becoming England's Test cricket coach. The big news, arguably, is that Joe Root has been announced as the permanent captain once again. TalkSport's legendary former England bowler Steve Harmison told us Fleming's appointment is an odd one, given predecessor and former International team.
Have you ever heard of a leader have to come into a job and work alongside the bloke that's been sacked and possibly share a desk with him? Do you know what I mean? So from that point of view, you had to get somebody that worked with McCullum, because McCullum's not going anywhere until after the World Cup in October.
And there'll be loads more on this on TalkSport's cricket YouTube channel.
TalkSport News.
Suffolk wildfire grows to the size of 140 football pitches, and Amy Winehouse's dad has been ordered to pay almost £1 million after losing a lawsuit. More with Emma at 2:30.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The big summer sale is now on, with great deals on a wide range of tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Fresher with sunshine in the north as showers move away towards the southeast, though it'll stay windy and wet across Scotland. Those showers reaching the southeast by early evening.
Very good afternoon. This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink, alongside Charlie Baker in for Hawksby and Jacobs.
Yeah.
We have a bit of developing news that we'll ask Alex Crook about a bit later on.
Is developing news different to breaking news? Can you?
Yeah.
Developing news.
It's developing news, Charlie.
It is. I knew we'd get it. We'd had an hour without it.
It's only taken till 2:05. But it's developed into Jim White. Real Madrid are
with
expected...
our good friends at Kodak.
Yeah, taking pictures every time, whenever you need them.
Real Madrid.
The trouble is when people do an impression in front of me and they're really good at it, I think I can do the impression, and then I'll go into I can't do I've got 2 impressions.
It just sounds like you.
I've only got 2 impressions I can do.
Go on.
And no, I'm not going to do them. Come and see me on tour and you'll see them. But I always think I can do it. And then I have a go at them and everyone's like, oh, why are you doing just a voice?
I'm glad you said it.
They all go Devonshire when I do them. Here, breaking news. Coming in.
Jim White as a Southwest?
No.
I'm not going to try it.
No.
I'm not going to try it right now.
What are we doing now?
But I'll bring you some developing news first.
Yeah.
Because we brought you this story yesterday, but Real Madrid are expected to make a bid for Manchester City's Rodri. Do you remember when transfers were just someone signed?
I call that old news.
Expected to make a
We've
bid.
been talking about that about 4 days.
Exactly.
Why are you bringing that up, Ollie?
I know. Elsewhere, Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White has been speaking to talkSPORT's Max Scott, who's living the dream.
God, he's like a 6-year-old.
Oh, it's amazing. He's out in Forest pre-season training camp in Portugal as a boyhood Forest fan, loving life. But he asked Morgan Gibbs-White about the horrible facial injury he suffered during the 3-1 win they had over Chelsea back in May.
I think I damaged a few nerves and it was just numb.
Wow.
So obviously when I first got the impact, I was like, oh, that was rough. That was tough. But my eyes were closed as I was holding my head, and I've gone to get up, put my hands and knees on the ground like that, and I just seen a pool of blood just pouring. And that was when I was like, oh no, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then the docs ran on, wrapped me up.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it was some injury, wasn't it?
He's some player.
Brilliant player.
He was going to go to Spurs, wasn't he? And then the Nottingham Forest gave him a better
should have gone to the World Cup too.
Deal. Well, do you think if he goes to Spurs, he goes to the World Cup, Ollie?
I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, you can watch that full interview, by the way, on the talkSPORT YouTube channel.
That's the sort of debate you can find on this show.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that would happen? Maybe.
We'll never know. By the way, you can just watch the way Max Scott stares into his eyes as well. It's worth the watch, really. But what a job he's doing out there, and very much enjoying himself. Right now, it's time to speak to our next guest, Jeff Norcott.
Oh, great.
Comedian and AFC Wimbledon fan. Jeff, how are you getting on?
He absolutely loves the Dons.
Good. I'm really good. I was just watching your show because obviously I'm here on Zoom.
Oh yeah.
I just really enjoyed it. This is great, man. You're looking good. The whole set is looking good. I'm on Times Radio every Friday from 7, and we're having an upgrade. I'd like some of that action you got going on there.
What would you like as your upgrade, Jeff? What do you want on your studio?
You two, to be polite, but realistically, the red brick wall is a stand-up. We love that. If we're standing in front of a red brick wall, that means we're essentially George Carlin
in the
60s, stocking it to the man with some home truths.
Do you think me and Ollie look like each other? People think we look like each other, and you put Lloyd Griffith in the middle as the missing link.
I think you're looking particular. You both look fantastic. He says I suddenly went kind of junior minister there. I realised that I was about to walk onto a political landmine, and I just said something nice instead.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, on that note, Jeff, you've got an Edinburgh show to write, and you do some political stuff, don't you? And of course, we've got a new prime minister. So has half the show gone in the bin?
Well, so what happened, Charlie, is you know that we rinse everything as comics now. I did a lovely tour, 80 dates, finished in May, and then I was going to do what they call a valedictory run in Edinburgh, which is basically, let's be honest, I just go up there for a week, don't change anything, make some more money.
Grab.
An absolute land grab for cash, and I just wanted to do nothing. I wanted to listen to my old show on the train on the way up and yeah. And it's even shorter, so it should have been quite straightforward. And then Keir Starmer finally got rid of. Andy Burnham's in, so it's Basic Bloke 2, but with all new Burnham. It's a whole section, and I'll tell you what. Interestingly, it is difficult comedically because he's kind of got a bit of an open goal this summer. It's hard to lay a glove on him at the moment because he's popular, but I'll tell you what, I'll give it a go. But one thing I do think, Charlie, is that it's a bit like, like in stand-up where if the guy before you bombs so hard, as long as you face the right way, right? As long as you're not Keir Starmer and that you face the right way and you talk like a human being, it's not surprising to me that the public are responding positively.
It's a bit like it's the opposite of David Moyes going in after Alex Ferguson, isn't it?
What is the opposite of that? That's the one sporting principle we don't know. I
know. Rafa Benitez after Steve McLaren. That's my example for sure.
That's a really good shout. I'd also say at a Wimbledon level, after Egil Olsen, anything was going to feel like an improvement, frankly. Old Drillo with his wellies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we missed the wellies now. You know, they say there's no characters in football. Imagine if a manager turned up in wellies now, in these modern times.
I don't know if that's character. I think that's just wearing weird footwear, Charlie. We also had...
hey, listen, where I'm from, wearing wellies that's quite posh.
They're hunters.
We also had Peter With, I don't know if you remember that, back in the early 90s, who went into the Crazy Gang dressing room and told them no more pranks and you're all going to have to wear shirt and ties. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. So that is the Peter With principle, and with all respect to the great man.
How are you feeling about AFC Wimbledon heading into the new season? 19th last time out. Johnny Jackson was in charge.
Well, we had one of our runs. We go on these incredible runs of not winning games. It's astounding. When we get relegated or do badly, it doesn't happen. We don't pepper it throughout the season. We consolidate it into one affordable monthly repayment of disaster. and we just didn't win forever. But God bless Antoine Hackford got us a goal away at Huddersfield, which is where we are on the first day of the season. And that was enough in the end. We should have always stayed up, but we had a horrific injury crisis. But we still got Super Johnny Jackson. And he's crucially, at this level, a League One level, it's not about who you sign, it's about who you don't let go. And James Tilley is going to stay. Steve Seddon, who is massively popular, not least with the young lads, because they can go Steve, nice, which is, I understand, is a Minecraft reference. So I feel pretty optimistic. So obviously we're going to finish bottom.
Tell us about what's so good about Steve Seddon. Why is he such a fan favourite?
Just a really good sort of wing back. We had Josh Neufeld before, so that was a big hole, and also somebody that can bomb on and score the odd goal. But Steve Seddon, let's be honest, you can say his name in a fun way. Steve, there's an alliteration there. Steve Seddon, and he just, you know how the fans bond with a guy that just looks like an ordinary guy. Where you go, I bet you earn any money on a Sunday, I'd see him at the recycling centre looking delighted.
I think you're like me with AFC Wimbledon, though, Jeff. And with me with Torquay, I'm just, whenever anything happens, if we lose, of course, or we don't, we've lost the playoff final in the last minute. Very disappointing, hugely disappointing. But there's also always the caveat of we still exist.
We still got a club
because we were about to go out of business, and so actually anything is a bonus at all because we still exist, and it must be the same for you at AFC.
It is a bit like that, but also fans have short memories. So some of our younger clubs, younger fans rather, they don't really know. Yeah. Well, they know the history, but they don't feel it. So what happens is when we go on a bad run, a lot of fans will say, look, at least we've still got a club. That's now become a stick to beat the positive, optimistic fans with, just in the same way as, when you get called a happy clapper, you go, yeah, that's like a more fun way to enjoy football, to believe and to also know that really, we League One, League Two, Fugazi, as Matthew McConaughey said in Wolf of Wall Street. It's not that. I prefer League One because League One, what you get is some recently deposed giants of football. You'll always have a Sunderland or a Portsmouth. It's kind of like a reunion club for the first division in the early 90s. It's good fun.
But it's also, if you go down, you're not out the league. In the League One.
No, that's
why it's the dream for smaller clubs. It's like, we can get relegated and we're still in the league.
Yeah, that is absolutely the mentality. The problem with League Two is the trapdoor is just there swinging, like below you. And when we were close to going down, the pride for Wimbledon of being back in the league is so massive that we just couldn't countenance it. The only issue is because we're in League One, that lot from Buckinghamshire got promoted, so we've got to play them again. And
they don't count though. It's not a derby because they don't actually count. So you're playing yourself. So you're playing yourself, but they don't count.
Well, as I often say, it was responsible for one of the great postmodern chants of football. And let's be honest, there haven't been that many.
Greatest of all time,
it was,
this one.
When we sang to them, when we played them in the FA Cup, we sang, "Where were you when you were us?" That is French philosopher level.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful. Inception level chant, lads.
Jeff, can I just very quickly ask you, in terms of your show, obviously there's been a lot of politics tied in with football and Infantino and all of his antics. Is that another topic that you're throwing into your show up in Edinburgh?
It's always interesting, and Charlie says it's hard to make sport funny. It really is hard, unless it's a story that breaks out. So I'd probably get more laughs out of the Saltburn Clicky Ponting scandal, mainly because it's got a funny joke within the story itself. But Infantino, I guess, it has kind of broken out of the football space into a political space. But there does come a point with anything Trump related. There was a point, this happened with Brexit too, where there's a collective sound when you mention certain words, they go, and you got to move on. It's say loads of comics came out of COVID with some of the best material of their lives, and you do still get the odd one going. Oh, who remembers bashing our pots and pans?
Yeah.
You go, it's 20.
It's a while ago now, yeah.
Yeah, we're all trying to forget it. It's actually like a really stressful
But
collective
also,
family memory.
If you bring up for any football team, you'll get 10% of the audience
start booing
like them.
Yeah.
And then the rest just don't like them because it's not their football team. So you have to,
It's a Pavlovian reaction where they just sort of boo because that's what they think they do. But then you go, I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe and you are all wearing chinos. You don't have a football team.
Oh, Jeff, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks.
Say where Jeff's on. Where can people see you, Jeff?
The 24th of August to the 30th. It's at the Underbelly in Edinburgh. Here's the important thing. We know what really matters with punters. It's at 3:10. It's in an aircon room, and it's got leg room. Crucially, it's got leg room.
So you can watch it, get out get some leg room, get some aircon. Finishes at 4:10. Go and find a nice pizza. Perfect.
That's the ticket.
Lovely stuff. Jeff, thanks very much indeed, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Jeff Norcott there.
And he's on our good friends at Times Radio. He's on their station every Friday night. It's an excellent show.
Yeah, his studio isn't as nice as ours.
Well, they're rebuilding it, aren't they?
They're gonna fix that. Yeah,
but they're rebuilding it.
It'd be better than ours.
Ollie.
Do we have to rebuild it again after they have? So we still look better than.
Don't know. At times like the AFC Wimbledon, they come back. They're going to come back with like a beautiful stadium.
Are we MK Dons?
No, we're not MK Dons. We're not.
Okay. Yeah, you might need that.
Are we? What football time?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we'll think about that in the break. Think about that in the break. But by the way, while the sun is shining, Jeff was talking about the aircon there. Make sure to grab a pint of So Good Lager from talkSPORT. And meantime, it's available in all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports bars across the country. Find out where your nearest pub is at talksport.com/so good. 18+. Always drink responsibly. This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Open from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Grab what you need. Get on site. Get it done. First stop, Toolstation.
Up and said you got 10 players better than John Stones.
I said all time. I didn't say Prem, but let's stick to Prem. All right, let's do this.
Go on.
Virgil van Dijk, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, that's five.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we going Tony Adams?
Oh yeah.
No,
you're not gonna say.
No, but go on.
I would.
Campbell.
I'd do Sol Campbell, defo.
And I'm a Tottenham
Sol
fan.
Campbell, come on, Jamie.
Keep going.
I'm going Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh. Gary Pallister.
Carvalho.
Mate, come on.
Carvalho.
Don't help him. Why are you helping him? Carvalho's not better than John Stones.
Carvalho. Ricardo Carvalho.
Jamie, hear me out.
Give me a break, man.
On his day, prime for prime, one game for a final, Ledley King.
Yeah, Ledley King. What, you telling me Ledley King? Oh, come, Jamie.
Listen, Jamie, not the career, but for one game in his prime.
I watched John Stones playing the Champions League final.
I know he was
City.
unbelievable.
He was unbelievable. So let's.
I hear it, but
like,
you know
come
what
on.
I think, yeah? I heard.
You can't be
Rory
putting
and
Ledley
Addy
King
earlier.
above John Stones.
Good afternoon, this is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink alongside Bakes.
When are you going to be Oliver Clink?
Ah,
You're going to grow up a bit, Ollie.
I don't know.
How old are you now? 30. It's time to be Oliver, I think.
Is it?
I'm Oliver Clink.
I was waiting till 40.
More serious, isn't it? Ollie Clink. I'm expecting like a 6-year-old to turn up.
You're still Charlie.
Little Ollie Clink. Yeah, but I'm a silly Billy. That's
Yeah,
my
but Clink
job.
is this stupid
My
anyway.
business is to be daft.
Well, mine's not.
That's my job.
Mine's not. When am I going to just be Jim White? That'll solve everything, I think.
Oliver Clink.
Oliver Clink.
And here's the news with me, Oliver Clink.
That's it. If I was a newsreader, I'd do Oliver Clink.
Yeah, but I think
I'm with you, having a laugh, aren't we? Clinky and
Well.
bakey.
I don't like it.
No, we can't do
Not here
that.
for that.
We can't do that.
Clinky and bakey. What are we? Was it like a duck and a cow who were friends?
Yeah, I know. Oh, anyway, there's plenty of racing going on.
Clinky and bakey.
Clinky and bakey. I hate that. No, that's not happening. There's plenty of racing going on at Glorious Goodwood this afternoon. We can speak now to our commentary team for the next race, the former jockey Lizzie Kelly alongside Alex Crook, or Crookie, if you will. Crookie, I want to start with you and how well you got on yesterday. On day one, you won 6 out of 8 races as a punter. How did you get on yesterday?
5 yesterday and just back the winner in the first today. So what's that, 12 now over the course of the 3 days?
Oh,
A lot of favourites won yesterday, didn't they?
Sorry, the way he said
They
that,
did.
I'm not having that. Oh, what's that, 12? Oh, come on, Crook. You know it's 12. What can you tell us about some of the racing today? What races have we got on the way? And crucially, you probably need to give some tips out.
Well, yeah, as I say, we just had the favourite Oblige in the first, playing up before the start, but Kiriabu, a good winner of the 150. That was a mile 2 furlong race. We've got a sprint up next. Lizzie and I have got differing opinions here. No surprise, I'm on the favourite. This is my nap of the day, Fran Sooner. I know Izzy is keen on Night in Vegas. Big race of the day, live on talkSPORT, is going to be the 3:35 Nassau Stakes. Again, a lot of people are trying to find a way the favourite Diamond Necklace will get beat here. I don't think it will, but I know Lizzie is keen on Friendly Soul for William Buick, who I think rides this track just about as well as anybody.
Obviously, you're stepping in. Very sadly, Rupert Bell's having to take a bit of a rest today. We obviously wish him well, but Crookie, you're doing the duties for us. Just out of interest, how much horse racing have you done? You're a very well-established commentator, but I'm just wondering how much you've done.
I'm sure I've heard you do it before, Crookie, haven't I?
That race over on talkSPORT 2 was my first. Hopefully it won't be my last. It seemed to go okay. Got a nod of approval.
Did you get
from our producer Dan?
today?
And I got 6 out of 10 from Lizzie Kelly. So I'll take that.
Okay, that's
Room
decent,
for improvement,
isn't it?
obviously, but 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think she said to me, "You can't be any worse than Rupert."
We'll be hoping for at least a 7 from you, Crookie. Now, while you're with us, we should chat a bit about transfers, but also that big story of the day involving my Newcastle United, Eddie Howe, leaving the club. What further detail can you give us on this, and especially the potential incoming of Matthias Geisler? That's his name, yeah. That's it, the Ice Man. There we go.
Yes, man.
German manager, obviously been over in Saudi Arabia. He's working for another PIF-owned club, Al Ahly, so pretty easy negotiations between Newcastle and the Saudi Pro League side. It's not a massive shock to me, Ollie. We speak a lot about Newcastle. You blow up my phone every few days asking me what's happening in Newcastle, and I told you that I just got the hint that Eddie Howe had been frustrated about losing big players, not just this summer, but obviously going back to the Alexander Isak saga a year ago. They've missed out on some targets as well. Obviously, Johan Manzambi choosing to join Villa instead of Newcastle was a big blow. And I think he just felt, Eddie Howe, that maybe taking the club as far as he can. There was a few dissenting voices, weren't there, in the stands at St James's Park last season. Although I think the majority of Newcastle fans still realise what a brilliant job Eddie Howe did, saving you from relegation, 2 Champions League qualifications, 1 loss in a League Cup final, and then winning it a year later, obviously the first domestic silverware for a long time. And I think it's going to be tough for Newcastle, not just because they've lost those players, but because now they've lost their manager as well. And it's not a decision, I'm told, that Eddie Howe took lightly. He did inform them a few weeks ago that this was going to be the direction of travel, but he agreed to stay on as long as it took to find that replacement manager. I think you'll only truly appreciate and acknowledge what Eddie Howe did when he's no longer there.
Yeah, he certainly goes down as a club legend, and it will be a new era for the club. I believe you're alongside the former jockey Lizzie Kelly now, your commentary partner, who gave you a 6 out of 10, Crookie, hoping to improve on that. But
I think that's high from Lizzie.
Yeah.
She's tough.
Yeah. I mean, what would you give his football commentary? Is it?
Don't get me on.
Let's not go into that. Lizzie, what can we expect from this next race?
Well, I think this is going to be really exciting, chaps. There's loads of nice horses in this race. We've got Flan Sunner as our favourite. He was a horse who comes here having been very impressive in two past victories. These horses are only two, so there's a lot of we haven't seen a huge amount of them. So Flan Summer's actually only run twice and he's won both times. He travelled very well at Ascot when he won. He quickened away from them really impressively. I quite like Night in Vegas. He's a bigger price, 6 to 1. Actually, you'll get each way today. He's won 2 before running an absolute blinder in the Coventry at Royal Ascot. He was only beaten a length into 5th that day. I kind of felt like we saw him. We saw his limitations, but this is an easier race, and I'd be really interested with how he might get on.
The jockeys will never tell you about it, though, will they? When they've ridden a night in Vegas, because what happens on a night in Vegas?
It's on a night in Vegas. Crookie, have you ever had a night in Vegas?
I've had several nights in Vegas. Yes.
Have you? Do you have the cowboy hat on in each of those?
No, I didn't actually. No, and the cowboy hat has still not come out this week. I want to wear it one day.
No,
but I
it's
don't
bad luck.
Jinx.
It's cursed, that hat.
Exactly.
It's cursed.
I don't want to jinx my winning run. So I've got my lucky tie on again. I've got the same jacket I've been wearing all week. That's going to be a bit sweaty by the end of it, but I can't change the attire.
And now you've got to sit in a commentary box with Lizzie in a stinking old jacket. It's unbelievable.
Lizzie, Crookie said that you've differed on the nap of the day. What's your thinking behind that?
Well, I don't just tip favourites.
Yes, we love it. Both feet.
Value.
Two-footed tackle early on.
A winning favourite is always better than a losing outsider, chaps.
Studs up. Studs up.
Yeah. That could be a good podcast for you, Studs Up.
Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be great. I could just make horrible comments about people.
Yeah, that's what most podcasts are.
No, it's going to be a good race, actually. I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, it's a bit difficult for Crookie, this one, because the last one was much longer. This one's a short race, a sprint, 6 furlongs.
Yeah, it'll be over in seconds.
Down a hill.
Said that before.
A lot more going on here than in the first race, and obviously I've got the pressure. It's not the listening millions I feel under pressure. It's Olly Clink, because any mistake that I make, he will leap on. He will leap on.
The thing is with it, no one really knows what the horses look like other than you. So you can you can just sort of say it and then just say which one the winner is. Just keep saying names. Just keep saying names. keep doing that and then just say which one the winner is, and that is the sort of it.
I mean, you apply that to football, Crookie.
No one's checking, is what I'm saying. No one's going to go back over the race and go, oh, you said that one was written, that wasn't it.
I just love, by the way, that on this very show we're going to have a legend of football commentary, Martin Tyler, a bit later on.
I know, Martin Tyler.
And Baker is giving out his commentary advice.
Football commentary advice on the racing is to keep talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Rupert can do it, jeez.
Yeah. Looks as if those horses are entering the traps now, Crookie, for this this sprint race. Lizzie, I just wanted to ask you about some of your other shouts for later on in the day. Who are you looking at?
Oh, later on in the day, I think I quite like Bay of Brilliance in the next race, and I'm sticking with the favourite in the big race. So
I thought you didn't tip favourites.
Well, sometimes a winning favourite is better than a losing outsider, as you said.
Where'd you hear that, Lizzie?
But we are loading, lads.
Yeah, the last one's just going in, Ollie, so we're about to get off on an underway here. Cut a Dash is going to be the last to load, I think. This 6 furlong sprint, second of 8 races here today on day 3 of the glorious meeting. Second of our 4 live commentaries, including the Nassau Stakes later. And we are off and running. And straight away, I can see that it's Yankee Turkey who has come out quickest. Hickory Lad in second place down the left-hand side of the track. Where Love Lives is in a prominent position early on as well. So too Lizzie's tip Night in Vegas. So it's still Yankee Turkey out in front at the moment, with Where Love Lives in second place. Hickory Lad still in a very prominent position. Night in Vegas in 4th place at this moment in time, and the favourite, Flansuna, is around about midfield at the moment, but looks to have a decent toe into the race. I can see the orange hat of man's best friend Ryan Moore, master jockey, on board that one. Here comes the favourite now, just getting into stride, is Flansuna. Flansuna and Hickory Lad. At the moment, it's still a day of scarlet is coming forward, but in the white cap in the centre, Night in Vegas, Lizzie's Tip looks to have taken the lead at the moment. The favourite is not finding much off the pace. A day of scarlet, and coming up on the right-hand side, it's Ryan Moore again, man's best friend. Well, he certainly was today. Ryan Moore, who's had a tough week so far. He has the favourite in the big race later, and that is a real confidence boost. Man's best friend wins the 6 furlong sprint. A day of scarlet was in second, and Lizzie's Tip Night in Vegas ran a mighty race in third. The favourite, Flansuna, really disappointing, but it's man's best friend who got up right on the line. 11-2 winner for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, and that should instill confidence on those of us who are backing that duo to win the big race later live on talkSPORT. It's man's best friend, the 11-2 winner of the 6 furlong sprint.
Yeah, that was very good. He really had a lovely turn of foot. You could see both him and A Day of Scarlet trying to make up ground from the back, and they were able to get the split when they needed them. But man's best friend just had just an incredible turn of foot there and was able to scythe his way through those gaps in front of him, come out on top. And I thought that despite on several occasions looking like he was never going to get there, once those gaps came, it was game over.
I just wonder what that will do for the price of Diamond Necklace now in the 335. The fact that that combination has got a winner on the board already.
Well, absolutely.
A loser there for you then, Crookie?
That's a shame, isn't it?
It's a shame
You
for you.
jinxed it, see? It's your fault.
It was.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I thought you did fantastically with the commentary, by the way, but we have to get a ranking from Lizzie Kelly very quickly. How did Crookie get on for you, Lizzie?
Yeah, 6.
6
Another
again.
6.
Yeah. 6 again.
What do I need to do to get a 7?
I tell you what, I think we'll have enjoyed it is Rupert Bell, because his job's safe.
Crookie, Liz, thank you very much indeed. Great work there. Remember, Racing TV is the only channel showing every race live from the Qatar Goodwood Festival and Galway Festival this week. talkSPORT listeners can enjoy a free 1-month trial of the channel. Head to racingtv.com/free trial now. Terms apply. This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT.
John is a Newcastle fan, joins us now. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
John, hold on. John, are you John, the Jack Charlton's son, John?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, John, what a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks so much for that.
Thanks very much.
Are you good? Are you well?
I'm very well. Very well.
Good.
Can't complain at all.
It's quite ironic that you phoned up. You know what the date is today, right? July the 30th.
Yes, I do.
60 years ago today, your dad won the World Cup with England.
Yes, and funny enough, me and Eddie were talking about his medal.
Yeah.
I think there's only him and my Uncle Bobby who have kept their medals. Everybody else doesn't have them anymore.
Where's your dad's medal?
I've got it.
Have you?
Mm.
Oh, my
Yeah, I do.
goodness.
Well, there's a bit of a problem with it, actually. When I say I've got it, it was left to me in my dad's will.
Yeah.
But the taxman wants £200,000 off me in inheritance tax.
Oh, you're not going to sell it, are you?
No, I've...
disappointed, you know. It's sad news about Eddie, but it goes with all my best wishes.
The end of Eddie Howe's left, and I think we're on a downward spiral, unfortunately. Eddie Howe just didn't get enough time.
He's brought so much to the club. He's made us believe again, and I am a bit shocked that he's gone.
I'm over the moon he's gone, because we've been trudging along for a year and a half since we won that cup, and it was getting really, really bad. We're watching some terrible football.
If it was down to me, Eddie Howe would have been the manager for the next 10 years. I think he's been let down by the owners, the board. You've only got to look at the way the club's being run. I mean, how many directors of football, different people coming in.
Oh, it's like a breakup, isn't it, Charlie? It's like a breakup.
Yeah.
For me, as a Newcastle fan, I've had the shock.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of the sadness, the good times.
Stages of grief, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anger, resentment.
Rose-tinted glasses on the really good times. I'm at acceptance, I think, now.
Yeah.
I think
you seem to have that. But when you've been talking to, we've had some really good callers on today.
Brilliant.
And some brilliant guests. And when you've been talking to them, I can see you working through. You started to convince yourself you'd had a terrible season. It was time to go how out.
Yeah, at that little bit of rage, I think, but I still love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big day for Newcastle United. Eddie
I'm
Howe.
assuming Jason goes with him.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. It just wouldn't be the same, would it? It wouldn't be the same with this new man coming in, Matthias Geisler, with Jason Tindall by his side in his too tight tracksuit and his tan. Yeah, well, arguably.
Too tight? Is it not just like built for sport?
Yeah, potentially.
Built for coaching.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
That's what it is. You see a lot of those tracksuits on a Sunday morning.
You do
on the sidelines.
Do you have one? No.
Don't wear a tracksuit. I did a shell suit when I was about 14.
Did you?
Yeah.
Talk me through it.
Caught fire.
What?
It caught fire.
How?
Well, if you were near a naked flame with a shell suit on.
How close did you have to be? 10 metres?
No, yeah, not very far away at all.
What colour was it?
It was blue. It's blue Adidas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got a picture in it?
I don't think I have, but I felt like I used to like, I still do. I like hip hop, so I used to dress as them when I was in my teenagehood.
And how many mates did that get you?
Oh, loads of mates. I had no friends. No friends, Ollie.
All my mates were
Only childhood.
Let's go to the phone lines then. 0371 722 3344. If you are a Newcastle fan, Eddie Howe has left the club. That news broke this morning. Colin is a Newcastle United supporter. Colin, how did you take the news? How are you feeling about it all?
Well, I've just listened there, and I think I heard the word shock. Well, it was no shock to me. In fact, I mean, I've just been writing a blog here that I write about the club, and one of the headlines I've put on is 60 months from disaster. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So some of you guys, and may have, I'm sure, heard or watched the program 60 seconds from disaster.
Oh, yeah.
So why do I think it's 60 months from disaster? Well, 60 months approximately is when PIF bought us and Eddie Howe came in. Now, I'm 73 in September. Went to my first game, 7 or 8 year old. My dad lifted us over the turnstile so he wouldn't have to pay for me at St James's Park. And what I will say, first of all, in all of that time, the only guy who's ever delivered what I've spent my lifetime up to now watching Newcastle is he's delivered, for me, going to Wembley and watching us lift a cup, which is something which supporters my age and younger, but particularly supporters my age, have never seen, have always wished for. Okay, it was only the League Cup, but I'll tell you what, to us fans, that was a glorious, fantastic day. And, we'll never forget Eddie for giving us that. But let's go back to 60 months from disaster. So when we lost, gave away that 12-point lead to Man United in 95, 96, I thought that's our last chance, that's it, it's gone, of winning the title. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that was the start of all of the billionaires coming into the game. Abramovich, Mansour, the Glaziers at Man United, the big money coming in from Sky, and where did most of it go? It went to the top established clubs who were the ones who were winning the trophies. Yeah. There was no PSR restrictions or whatever. And those clubs, the top six, we were a million miles over the years, a million miles behind them. So my position argument with some of the other fans was a big billionaire buyer's never going to buy us, because if they did, they would want to win, they would have the ambition, they would want to compete to win the title, to win the Champions League. To do that, you're going to have a few problems at Newcastle. One, because we're not a top six established club. A lot of the kids who are now the top players, they grew up watching Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea winning the trophies. That's the teams they wanted to play for. We weren't in that league.
Sure.
Secondly, if we went for the elite players who are going to take us into that top position, not only are you fighting against the big six, when Newcastle, and as much as, you know, I love Newcastle. I was born and bred in Wallsend. I love the town. I love the area. But it ain't London and it ain't Manchester. And a lot of these top elite players who we would have to sign to get into that type of position, they don't want to strut their stuff in the big market.
Yeah, I think the problem as well, Colin, is that that's the same now, but that PSR hasn't helped that in any stretch at all, because it's not just competing with, you know, the reputations of those bigger clubs. It's also competing with things like wages, and in some respects transfer fees, and the fact that Newcastle have to sell those players on too. Thanks for your call. 03717 22 33 44. By the way, a bit earlier on, just talking about the new man potentially coming in, Matthias Jaissler, the Yice man, as we've been labelling him. I already love him. You've got to get behind the new man.
How weird, Matthias.
That'll be the chant. But the German football expert Seb Stafford-Blur joined Adam Catterall and Darren McAntony on talkSPORT earlier this morning. He told them more about the incoming German head coach at Newcastle.
Newcastle fans, this is exciting. Matthias Jaissler is his roots are in the Red Bull system, so he plays in the way you'd expect, very direct, very forward-thinking, very aggressive without the ball. He's a very passionate character, very active on the touchline. I mean, he's won back-to-back Asian Champions Leagues, those are the first continental trophies in Al Ahly's history in the Saudi Pro League. So he's done a terrific job, and he's still only 38 as well. This is a guy who's still developing, but he's a fascinating character.
I'm really excited, Charlie. Now
you like him now?
Yeah, why not?
Might be the next big thing.
Could be.
Might be the next Pep Guardiola.
Could be.
He's come into your club. He's going to establish a style of play that every single coach in the country is going to try and copy.
That is exactly what's going to happen, I reckon. Exactly that.
That's what happened with Pep Guardiola.
Exactly, yeah. So why can't it happen with
Everyone's
Matthias
playing
Jaissler?
Out from the back.
Why can't it happen with the Yice man at Newcastle?
He is. Everyone will be there. Oh, that's the Jaissler. That's the ice ball.
The Yice ball. There we go. The Jaissler way.
The Jaissler way.
Not the How way.
No.
That's the road to commemorate.
And that's how you have to travel in hope, Ollie.
Yeah, you have to do that. By the way, the Commonwealth
gone by Christmas, remember this conversation.
Yeah, we'll clip this up. Saying he was going to be exactly like Pep and Newcastle in the Championship.
Calling you the new Watford.
Yeah. The Commonwealth Games is well underway, by the way, in Glasgow. talkSPORT bringing you all of the action. Our reporter John Cushing has the latest from the day.
Yeah, I am at the weightlifting at the moment, Ollie and Charlie, and I'm awaiting for Emily Campbell. She's due out in a couple of minutes to try and defend her Commonwealth Games title. So if I need to whisper a bit more because they're lifting behind me, I do apologise, but I'm literally 10 yards. I'm literally on the stage in the Armadillo at Glasgow. It is an incredible scene. The women's 86 kilogram category, 11 lifters are here. The double British Olympic medalist, Emily Campbell, as I say, the 2022 gold medalist at the moment. We're expecting her soon. She's looking to snatch, because you do snatch first, then you do the clean and jerk second. She's looking to snatch 110 kilograms. That's what she's got on her list at the moment, what she wants to do, which is the equivalent of 17 stones, which I'm told is the size of a large French door refrigerator or a heavy-duty washing machine. That's how much they are lifting at the moment. As we have the Indian, Maiban, snatching that. She has snatched 105 kilograms. You can hear the crowd behind me. It's brilliant performance from her there. Earlier, Cyril Taché, the second, won silver for England, lifting 166 in the snatch and 208 in the clean and jerk. He got a silver medal. Team England say they're incredibly disappointed by the the late decision to scrap the women's 1500 metres T54 results from last night at Scotstoun in the Athletics. In a very rare move, judges on appeal have now ordered a rerun of the final tomorrow morning. It means that England's 22-year-old student Ellis Cottas, who won silver, and Scotland's Mel Woods, who won gold, now have to go again, and those medals have been scrapped. And 7 gold medals available tonight at track cycling as they approach again the weightlifting behind me. Some guaranteed medals for home nations. England-Wales in the women's team sprint for gold, probably one of the highlights. For tickets, check out Glasgow2026.com as Canada's Etta Love has just lifted 106 kilograms behind me. As I say, Emily Campbell due out soon, looking to lift 110. This is the Commonwealth Games. It's live across the talkSPORT network.
What a pro John Cushing is there.
And he sold some tickets. Can you sell some tickets for my tour, John?
Oh, please do.
Tickets, please do see.
CharlieBaker.com. Don't forget, by the way, Natalie Sawyer and Olympic gold medalist Greg Rutherford will bring you a special show tonight talking all things Commonwealth Games. Tune in from 7 over on talkSPORT 2.
Thomas Tuchel, what he said, he's a key player for us, whether as a starter or as a substitute. The word substitute will even be uttered about Virgil van Dijk. Imagine someone saying that to Virgil van Dijk, even at 40.
No, I think
be a substitute.
No. You're massively cherry picking.
I'm not saying. No. Sorry, they just played the clip. No. They just played the package, and it was Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, saying he's a key player for us, whether as a starter or a substitute.
This is appalling from you. This is the very definition. You know when Donald Trump's moaning about fake news, it's you.
Sorry, I just basically quoted
but how
what
important,
the England manager said.
Okay. How important is context? The reason that he spoke like that is because he was accused of taking an injured player to a tournament. So the reason that he said he's going to be a key player for us, whether he's a substitute or whether he's a starter, is because it was suggested that you shouldn't take a player who has had an injury-ravaged season.
Oh, no.
So therefore,
injury-ravaged career.
Injury-ravaged career, fine. But the reason that he was talking about being a substitute...
I feel bad here because you're about to make me bury John Stones, and I don't want to. I think John Stones is a fantastic human being, fantastic defender.
You're not going to
maybe England's greatest defender. Maybe it's 50, 60.
Noddling up.
Enjoying it.
This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink, alongside Charlie Baker. The reason we're playing that is because after West Ham's relegation, unfortunately, when relegation happens, as we know, Charlie, clubs do make certain cuts, and sadly, it does affect the people that work there.
That's always one of the things that's really sad, actually, is that
very sad.
People do lose their jobs.
Joining us now is Russ Budden, the former West Ham DJ, has been affected by this. Russ, how you doing?
Hello, Russ.
Oh, hearing that song made me upset again.
Yeah, I don't know why. I told him not to play it, Russ. But
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it was very well. Thank you. Not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, you're really welcome.
Yeah, talk to us about how this all came about. Then the kind of conversations you had, because you were there as the DJ for a long time.
Yeah, been doing it for a long time, 25 years now, where it was. And yeah, unfortunately, got the call that my role wasn't going to be there anymore now. And so, yeah, just put something out on my YouTube channel, West Ham Network, and it's just gone a bit crazy. Everyone sort of jumped on board, and there's been uproar.
So tell me how it works. So you were at the bowling ground as well, Upton Park, and you made the change over to the new place, the London Stadium. And how did your job change in the two stadiums, or did you just keep it exactly the same?
Job was exactly the same. I just had to walk up a load more stairs.
Yeah.
Which is quite useful. Probably needed it more than anything. But the job was exactly the same. It's. I'm there 4 or 5 hours before kickoff, making sure the bubbles works, making sure all the songs are playing and stuff like that. But it's been a big part of my life for the last 25 years.
I don't think it's a negative thing to say. I feel like I think West Ham fans have been absolutely sawn off by that move. I think they had one of the great English Premier League, English Football League stadiums that was always the 12th man for the team. The atmosphere at Upton Park was second to none. Absolutely brilliant, intimidating for players. They all said it, and often got West Ham over the line. And the move, the atmosphere completely changed. They're like an away team, it feels like often. And I feel like that's been a real negative for the club. Your job to keep the atmosphere up must have got harder.
Yeah, it has. And typically, I think this season coming, we've got 50,000 season ticket holders signed up. I think there's only one more club in the 92 who have got as many season ticket holders or more than us. So there was a real sense of optimism going in, despite being relegated. There's a lot of optimism amongst the fan base, and I think it would have brought, and that's why I'm even more gutted, because it would have been able to because sometimes that place can rock. Some of those European nights, you could feel the box sway when everyone's singing Bubbles and stuff. It can be a very intimidating atmosphere. But as I said, it's a bit like, obviously, as a comedian yourself, Charlie, if you go to a comedy gig and the comedian's not funny, you're not going to laugh.
Yeah.
And I think West Ham fans weren't entertained. They weren't excited by what they were seeing on the pitch. And so it's like a two-way street. But I think this season coming, we were going to see a massive change in the atmosphere for sure. There's a lot of old fans coming back because of the changing in the ownership and things like that as well. So, yeah.
I think that the tough thing as well, Russ, is that it's not just your livelihood. It's the fact you have such an emotional tie with that football club, a club you supported all your life. Just out of interest, are there any other colleagues of yours who've sadly also had to leave the club? Have you chatted with them? How's it all kind of played out?
I'm aware of a few people have reached out to me who have obviously staff at the club who have lost their jobs. As Charlie said, it's one of those things which comes with the territory, unfortunately, with being a foot, which is ironic, when the players on the pitch don't get, some of them haven't had a financial reduction in their wages, but because of their actions or lack of actions, people have lost their jobs, unfortunately. But you're right, Ollie. We've spoken before on my channel. I love the club. It's a passion. It's not really a financial sort of job, so to speak. It's a hobby, and it's a passion for the last 25 years. And I think that's why people have sort of got on board, and people have put petitions and all that rubbish as well about it. And so it's great to see, and it's very overwhelming, to be honest. And
I was
quite humbling.
That must be so kind of moving for you, Russ, that there have been some West Ham fans who aren't happy that the club have moved you on. There's been a petition started. Have you had any contact from the club since? Have you had any glimmer that you might be able to get back into your role?
Not as yet. I put out the video, so to speak, and I only put that video out because people were messaging me already to say, "Oh, could you?" Because like a lot of bands and West Ham fans send me their music and want it played at the stadium, and so I thought rather than do it piecemeal, I'll put it out there so everyone knows about it, sort of own the narrative, so to speak. Pretty cheesy, but and it's just gone crazy. So as I think the petition, someone told me it's like 4,000, and it's really humbling, really humbling. But nothing from the club as yet. But who knows? It's only on Tuesday.
But you're still going to DJ, aren't you, Russ? You're still going to go out and do the parties and the weddings and the.
I'm available.
Yeah,
I'm available for bar mitzvahs, weddings, parties, funerals, you name it. I'll play it. I've got a few lined up already from people who are West Ham fans who want some of the old tunes and stuff played. So yeah, I'll still be doing that. Don't worry.
Fantastic, and a brilliant fan channel final as well. Russ, thank you very much indeed.
Cheers,
good luck
Russ.
with everything,
Good luck.
mate.
Cheers, guys.
There we go. Russ Budden there. Really hope he manages to sort that situation out. This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. First stop for everything for the job from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Start strong, start it right. First stop, Toolstation.
King Edward I, long live the King, gave us the best day that every fan, I'm sure they'll say, they'll ever remember as a black and white supporter. But he should have gone after Fulham at the last game of the season. And I think the leadership have just let this one get out of control a little bit. They should have took ownership of that after Fulham at the last game of the season.
What was it after that game, mate? What was it at the end of the last season that you saw that you wanted him to move on?
Well, it was before Fulham, lads. So it was unfortunately it was after them lot beat us for the second time at St James's.
Yeah.
Now at full time, for the first time in his regime, a section of the fans turned on him, and I was shell shocked. Just stood there listening, and I just left the ground just with my mouth shut and obviously devastated. But since that match, and I could be wrong, some of the fans might come on and disagree with me, but there was a turn of feeling and chemistry inside the ground.
Okay.
But for the own.
Listening to Charlie Baker and Olly Clink in for Hawksby and Jacobs. And we go to Goodwood now for Alex Crook and Lizzie Kelly.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Lizzie. You having a nice time?
Good afternoon. I am actually, yeah. It's all very relaxed at Goodwood.
Yeah.
Just walking down to the start.
I've only ever been once to Goodwood, and I was in a play at the Chichester Festival Theatre, and they sponsored one of the races, and we had a brilliant day out.
Oh, nice.
There is no better racecourse in this country, in my opinion, when the sun is shining. We've got a beautiful spot here in front of the Richmond enclosure, overlooking the beautiful Sussex Downs. Decent-sized crowd in today. It builds and builds towards a crescendo on Friday and Saturday. And it's Ladies' Day today, of course.
Oh, that's nice. Are you wearing a hat, Lizzie? You got a hat on today, or would you just...
No, I didn't know it was Ladies' Day.
Oh.
Did you not?
No.
They don't call it Ladies' Day at Cheltenham anymore, do they? They call it something else now. I can't remember what it
And they don't like it at Royal Ascot either.
Oh,
they don't use that terminology there either.
Well, my 6-year-old daughter is here today, and she was very excited it was Ladies' Day because it meant she got a new dress.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
And what horse is she on? She might give us a bit more luck.
I did give her some pocket money to go and pick some winners.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh, very nice. Has she backed her dad though? Are you going? Is she going with you, Crookie? It's not been a good day for you so far.
Well, one winner out of two, and it was a good price winner. But if I lose this race, and I'm not very confident in this race, then again, Ollie, I'm blaming you. You are the curse.
Well, what tips have you got then for this next one?
I think it's really tough to choose between the top three in the betting, although one of them's drifting now. Gary On, which is the one I've backed. Bay of Brilliance, I think, has got a good chance. And Enceladus, very well backed favourite, Lizzie.
Yes, well, he won a handicap over this trip at Royal Ascot, so that's always pretty taking. That form has actually worked out pretty well as well, and he's an obvious horse who will be able to step up in grade up to this Group 3. So you can see why he's been pretty tempting. He's also trained by Joseph O'Brien, who has been having an amazing season. I quite like Bay of Brilliance in this. He ran a blinder in the Derby at Epsom. He finished 4th on that day. He then went and ran a really bad race in the German Derby. I'm going to just put a line through. I'm just going to pretend...
Well, the ground was horrific that day,
yeah,
wasn't
I'm just going to pretend that never happened.
So it's much better conditions for him today.
Precisely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does look absolutely glorious, for want of a better word, at Goodwood, by the way.
It's firm, though, is it? Because we've had no rain for about 3 years.
It's drought.
Yeah, the ground is lightning fast. I think that's why we've seen so many favourites winning this week, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it?
It's definitely pretty crispy here. I mean, obviously the racetrack itself, they have obviously needed to water.
Yeah, they're allowed
so
to do
that's
that.
nice and green. But everything else is just brown.
Yeah.
It's like being in France.
My grass is just have it in my garden. I don't know about
Maybe you need to borrow the Goodwood groundsman, because
Lizzie's got about 12
Lizzie has
acres
said
to
there,
water, so I don't know.
The turf looks incredible. The turf looks incredible.
It looks luscious, doesn't it? But what's going on with your grass, Charlie? What's that?
It's just habit. I don't like to
Have you
use the
got a
hose
sprinkler?
pipe in the... No, it's hose pipe ban, Ollie.
No,
Come on.
that doesn't mean you don't have one. Doesn't mean you don't have
I've got a sprinkler, but it's a hose pipe ban. You know, let's not talk about my grass. Anyway.
That's a shame. Yeah. By the way, just while we wait for the horses to get into the stalls, I used to work at Goodwood, my neck of the woods, when I was about 16.
Yeah.
I was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
Got fired.
What did you do? What job did you do?
I was a waiter, Crookie.
Was you?
I wasn't allowed to take orders. So nothing's really changed there. I just basically ran the food out, would end up at the wrong tables, things like that. Wasn't suited to it, so I'm sure the service is very much improved.
I wonder if you've ever waited on me, because you are a bit younger than me.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I am. Maybe you're probably the man who got me fired.
Crookie hoping people at talkSPORT waited on him at some point anonymously. Pretty good. Gone to your head. This new commentary.
That's a little bit big time.
This commentary job has gone to your head, Crookie. It's unbelievable.
Which boxes did you think you were in, Crook, back then? Were you in some of the fancy boxes that I'd have been waiting on?
I usually find my way into a box or two around here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that. Anyway, looks like the horses are entering.
Now, I stepped away from that, I tell you what.
Good leave there, Baker.
Yeah.
Well left.
What, 8 kids in it?
Anyway, looks like the horses are making their way into the stalls. So let's hand over to Lizzie and Crookie for this next race.
Yeah, they are indeed. Enchiladas, the well-backed favourite, 11-8 favourite, is, I think, going to be pretty much the last one in. And we are ready for our third race of the day, our third feature race here on talkSPORT, the 1 mile 4 furlong Gordon Stakes. As I say, Enchiladas, the very well-backed favourite, but plenty fill the room with live chances here. Shaihan under Tom Marquand is just needing a little bit of encouragement to go into the stalls. Hence the minor delay on this glorious afternoon on the Sussex Downs. Looks like Shaihan is in position now. They're all in the gates and they're off. And immediately breaking well on the near side is Venetian Lace, the outsider of the field. Bay of Brilliance has got a handy position early on, so too Magnitude under Oisin Murphy, chasing his third win of the week. In fact, Oisin Murphy and Magnitude look now to have just poked their head in front of Venetian Lace, hugging the rail on the near side. The favourite Enchiladas handy in third. Then in the Qatari Royal colours, Shaihan comes next, followed by Geryon, the Irish runner. And it's still Magnitude out in front at the moment, with Enchiladas now creeping up into second place, just a nose in front of Venetian Lace, the big outsider. Then comes Shaihan as we move through the third furlong of this 1 mile 4 furlong race at Glorious Goodwood, and it's the yellow colours, the white cap of Oisin Murphy and Magnitude who are showing the way at the moment. Venetian Lace up in second place. Enchiladas, the favourite under Dylan Brown McConaughey, just content to sit in third place. On that one's outside comes Shaihan. Getting a little bit closer now is Geryon. Drifted before the off, and Bay of Brilliance, the second favourite at the moment, has only got Sahara King and James Doyle in behind. They move past the 6 furlong marker. It's still Magnitude out in front, Venetian Lace in second. Shaihan has moved up to third. The favourite Enchiladas sat handily in fourth, and then the two side by side behind them, Geryon and Bay of Brilliance, with Sahara King and James Doyle at the moment. Lizzie still coming up the rear.
Yeah, and they're just beginning to descend now down into the home straight, so they'll all start to try and get a little bit closer. Enchiladas just beginning to need to have a little bit of a niggle along.
Yeah, Magnitude being niggled out in front as well. Venetian Lace, a 25-1 outsider, still in a very good position. Bay of Brilliance is being ridden in behind. It's Magnitude who leads. Coming up on the near side running rail is Shaihan in a good position. And Venetian Lace now goes into the front. Enchilados looking to try and keep pace. The favourite now coming with a good run on the stand side. Enchilados in the white cap has cruised into the lead here. The favourite staying on in second place is Geryon. Looks like a straight shootout between these two now. But the favourite Enchilados still leads by a length and a half coming up to the line. Enchilados obliges for favourite backers. Geryon in second place. Great run from Venetian Lace in third. But the second favourite of the day bangs in for the punters. Enchilados wins the Gordon Stakes and wins, Lizzie, a Shea Cosley in the end.
Yeah, it was a lovely performance. Dylan had always had him in a nice position just on that outside where he was able to have plenty of space to run into. He was able to do that really, really nicely, made it look incredibly straightforward. There were horses attempting to make ground from the back, but it was certainly Enchiladas who was able to do that the easiest and came home 6-4 favourite.
Yeah, well back before the off, 6-4 as Lizzie has articulated. Enchilados the winner, and plenty of whooping and cheering down in front of us on the finishing line. Fair to say plenty of punters, Ollie and Charlie, were on that one.
Crookie, thank you very much. Indeed, Enchiladas, the winner there. By the way, I must mention, Crookie was talking about his daughter having a lovely day out at the races.
Of course.
Must stress, begambleaware.org, it's 18 plus.
Yes, of course.
Because he mentioned maybe a couple of quid there. But there we go. More live racing for you a bit later in the afternoon. Today, Charlie, is the 60-year anniversary of England having their greatest ever footballing day, winning the World Cup.
Fantastic.
Which is superb. And I'm delighted to say, joining us now to look back on that tournament, on that day itself, is the legendary football commentator, Martin Tyler. Martin,
brilliant.
Thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
Hello, Martin.
Hi, boys. Yeah, I'm good. It's a special day, isn't it? Really
special day.
Oh, it really, really is. What are your memories of the day, of the final, and that moment of England lifting the World Cup?
Well, one thing, the disappointment, and I was in Atlanta when England bowed out this time. I was hoping that the experience of living through an England World Cup win, which of course a decreasing number of us now, it was such a special time for the country. It wasn't so front page news. The tournament started, really. It was relatively early in the history of the World Cup, and England was supposed to have it because they were the host nation, obviously. But as the tournament built, there was a lot of criticism for the way England played, by the way. So what Thomas Tuchel had to deal with was the same as Alf Ramsey all those years ago. They will play with wingers. He tried to play with wingers in the first three group games, three different wingers. And England didn't play very well, so he went to a more tighter midfield. Nobby Tars and Charlie, of course, you'll know, with Jimmy Ball as your manager.
Of course, yeah.
Ball was absolutely man of the match.
What a player, Alan Ball. Alan Ball in that final was, if you watch it back on,
incredible.
He was absolutely sensational, wasn't he, Martin?
He was absolutely sensational, rightly say. He never stopped running. He was probably the difference. It got to 2-2. Of course, England were looking to win it 2-1. They conceded very late on. It went to extra time. Ramsey allegedly said, well, you've won it once, go and win it again. They did. Of course, the controversy of the Jeff Hurst goal, the third goal, was it over the line? Of course it was over the line.
Miles over.
I don't care what anybody says. Whether it was, VAR wasn't present in those days, and it was just the call of one assistant referee, who was linesman, as they called them in those days. And then, of course, the last goal with Kenneth Wolstenholme was wonderful. Wonderful words. Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now. That was it was a scenario that was made for him, but you've got to find the words, and such iconic commentary all those years ago. So it had the wraparound with it as well, you know. And I was playing cricket actually on the day of the final.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I always believed that you should play rather than watch. And if I could still play, I would not have watched for the last 50 years.
Did you get a convenient duck on that day, Martin? So
no, well, we were hoping it was weather for ducks because it rained heavily in the morning, actually. But the game was on. It was in Guildford and sort of about, I don't know, 10 miles away from my home.
Yeah.
as soon as it started to drizzle, it wasn't even a drizzle really, it was just a bit wet. The captains shook hands and off we went. I had a car, which is when I was 20. I had a car with a radio.
Oh, wow.
And I heard the first goal go in, Helmut Haller's goal, and then I got home to my mum and dad's house where I was living, and sat down and watched it and listened to it, and didn't really move because they went straight from the Wembley to the celebrations, the team hotel. And they're legendary to me, of course. There's only Sir Jeff left now. And but I wrote a book about them. It was a very silly thing to do. It was only 15 years after the event. I was so desperate to reach out and tell them how much I love them all.
Yeah.
But I did it. David Miller, a much more esteemed print journalist than me, did it 20 years later or 25 years later. And he got the royalties and the sales. But at least my book is on the shelves and it's there as a personal memory. And I got to talk to everybody, which was wonderful. So
Amazing.
It's still special. It's still special. I do see Sir Jeff from time to time, and we talk about whatever's in the air at the time. But at the end, I said, by the way, you're still my hero. Yeah. What he says back to me is not repeatable on the air. He's a very modest man, but he's still my hero.
That whole team is such a part of the fabric of our life, of our football life, Martin. As are you, and your voice is part of the fabric of our football life. And you mentioned Kenneth Wilson-Holmes' commentary there. I think it's all over. It is now. You have many quotes that we can all say to you. What's your favourite piece of commentary of all time, Martin? Is there anything that sticks in your mind? Not your own, of somebody else's, unless it's a bit of your own, of course.
No, it's certainly not my own. It's for other people to say what they like about what I do, and of course what they don't like about it as well. Yeah. It comes with the territory. I always enjoyed the Brian Moore one. I was at home that Friday night when, of course, Arsenal won at Anfield.
Yeah.
It's up for grabs now.
It's all up for grabs now, yeah, wonderful.
And I worked with Brian. He helped me a lot. I was with ITV at that period. Obviously, I was a junior commentator to the great man, and I thought he handled that superbly, and people still remember it.
Yeah.
Had all sorts of connotations, of course, but it did have the Arsenal doing what seemingly was impossible.
Yeah, I always say to John Barnes, why didn't you just run it into the corner, John? That's what I always say.
If he had his time again, you know he would.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed you're talking about this with Ollie being a Newcastle fan.
I know,
you'd be asking me about...
I needed some light relief, Martin, I think, to talk about something else for a moment. I mean, what are your thoughts just quickly on that? And Eddie Howe leaving the club's been a strange day so far as a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's for proper reasons. I know he had ill health last year, and one wonders whether that had some impact on his decision. I hope it didn't. I hope it was a straight football decision. It's been a complicated time at the club, Ollie. You know, I don't need to tell you that. And when players seem to be leaving, when you can't do too much about them and other aspects of the football club, it is a tough part of management now that this raft of sporting directors of football, call them what you will, call the shots. And I think if it comes too much against what you really believe is best for the club, then the best thing is to shake hands and move away. But he's a wonderful man, Eddie. He's very hard working to start with. Managerial talents. He's first in, last out in terms of the training ground. And I think he'll deserve a break from it. Whether he wanted the break, you'd have to ask him. I can only wish him well, because to work with as a broadcaster, and you're doing the same, he's special.
Do you think he's a future England manager, Martin?
100%. 100%, yeah. And I think maybe it has to come of a certain age. Tuchel's not of that age. And I mean, Thomas came close, and he should be respected for that. I think people have forgotten, guys, that third place away from 1966 is the best thing that they've ever done.
Yeah, sure.
Very true.
So that wasn't really. It was like, we got so close, and but to finish third meant something, and what a way to do it! Actually, it was
Eusebio. I think in '66. In '66, it was Eusebio. Was it for Portugal? Was it in the
Portugal played the Soviet Union, or I'm sure Russia or the Soviet Union then. But of course, England. There's talk about what happened at World Cups. England weren't supposed to play the semi-final at Wembley. they were supposed to play at Goodison Park. And it was decreed during the tournament, and when England got past the quarterfinal that we've talked about a lot recently, when England got into the semi-final, it was decided that for more people could come and watch. But of course, it also helped England a lot against a very good Portugal team to have that semi-final. So these things are little wrinkles in the tournament have happened before, and we'd be foolish to say that it's never happened in England's favour. I'm sure it helped.
Very true. Martin, obviously we've talked about the manager leaving my club, but your beloved Woking have also departed ways with Jermaine Defoe. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, very disappointed. I think it's an ongoing situation. I can't say too much. I help out at the academy. I'm in there quite often, and that's going well. We're producing some players who've been training with the first team when Jermaine was there and still training. Well, now he's not. But I think as somebody who believes in the world of compromise, I wish some compromise could have happened to suit everybody. It hasn't happened. I'm not sure we've heard the last of it, but at the moment, grateful for what Jermaine brought, and Paul Bracewell as well, who was very, very connected between the first team and the academy and watched a lot of games, and that was very good of him. We're going to miss that.
Martin, it's an absolute honour to speak to you as always. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Martin.
boys.
Thank you.
There we go, Martin Tyler.
Martin was in the dugout for one of my greatest ever Torquay United experiences, which was Woking 3, Torquay 3.
Oh, wow.
And we scored in the last minute to more or less win us the league, and it was absolutely wonderful. But he's a lovely, lovely man.
What a man.
What a commentator. Brilliant.
Fantastic. I mean, how many could we have quoted at him, by the way?
Oh, I know.
His own work.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. One of the voices of football, for sure. This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. First stop, Toolstation.
Absolutely devastated.
Go on.
If it was down to me, Eddie Howe would have been the manager for the next 10 years. I think he's been let down by the owners, the board. You've only got to look at the way the club's being run. I mean, how many directors of football, different people coming in, like, above him. His hands are tied. Like, I don't blame him. Like, I respect him for walking. 2 weeks ago, we missed out on a target, and we said about other targets. 2 weeks later, we still haven't signed anybody. We're signing young kids. We're losing our best players. He's told the club that he wanted to leave after the cup final. Now, if a player doesn't want to play for you, get rid of him. They had the opportunity to get rid of him. We had a deal agreed, Ekitike to Newcastle, personal terms agreed, medical booked in, fee agreed, and Newcastle hummed and hawed out selling Isaac. As soon as he wanted to know, they should have said, we've got a replacement, sell him, Ekitike signs for Newcastle. They messed about. Liverpool ended up signing Ekitike, and then...
He's got Tommy! Yeah! Yeah! Tommy Conroy! Oh my God! He sent it over the bar! Oh my God! Delirium! Delirium! They have to get a goal! It's over! Take the referee's back! The famine! Yes! The famine is over! The Cosby Times hit the nuclear button! They have won the All-Ireland! 27 years ago, Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on the moon. And he uttered the immortal phrase, one small step for man, one giant step for mankind. Today, this is a giant step for Mayo football. This is remarkable. A team of heroes, invincibles. This is simply wonderful.
Absolutely perfect. That is everything that sport is about.
Mate, talk about iconic commentary, by the way.
Pure passion and vibes. Brilliant. Press the nuclear button. Brilliant. Perfect.
The voice break at full time is the best bit
wonderful.
of that. Fantastic. That, of course, is County Mayo, who broke their 75-year curse on Sunday as they won the All-Ireland title in the GAA in the Gaelic football. talkSPORT Ireland caught up with some delighted Mayo fans after the win over Kerry at Croke Park.
I'm blessed today to get married because it is never going to top it, eh? But I tell you that. I can't believe it. Myself and my son over from London for the game. Yeah. Flew in this morning. Cannot tell you how much this means to us. To my family, to me and my son, my family. 75 years. My dad was at the last All-Ireland final, 1951.
The better team won of the day. I don't know if we showed up now. We can't begrudge Mayo was 50 years. Well, 75, yeah. 75, is it? Yeah. We'll be back next year. Come on, Mayo!
They're like top of the list. Genuinely, I just don't know what to do with myself at all.
Nearly shed a tear at the end, like.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There's so many clips as well of kind of sons and dads hugging and tears streaming down their faces. And you're right,
when
Charlie.
a story like that gets passed down generations, it's like, oh, gosh.
It's absolutely brilliant. Joining us now to look back on it is Luke Delaney, the editor at talkSPORT Ireland. How you doing, Luke?
Hello, Luke.
Ollie, Charlie, how's things? Thanks for having me on.
What about it? What a weekend for Mayo.
Unbelievable. Incredible scenes. The whole country, not even just Mayo, came to a bit of a standstill, and it's undoubtedly one of the greatest moments in Irish sporting history and arguably the greatest All-Ireland final we've seen.
I was backstage at Latitude Festival at the Comedy Tent with David O'Doherty, the great Irish comedian, and he had a small tear in his eye, and he was about to go on. He was about 20 minutes from going on. Wow. He was watching it on his phone, and I said, "What is going on?" And he just showed me it and explained what was going on, and I was like, brilliant. "Oh, this is absolutely immense! Exactly what sport is for, isn't it, Luke?"
Yeah, 100%. And, there's winning All-Ireland titles and then there's winning All-Ireland titles like this. It's been nothing but pain for the people of Mayo since 1951. 75 years without an All-Ireland title. And in that time as well, they've got to final 11 times. They've lost in agonising fashion. Replays, extra time, red cards. They've even scored own goals in early games, which is pretty rare for Gaelic football. But just everything. The stars were aligned when you look at the manager, Andy Moore, and he's lost 6 titles himself as a player, came in for the first year. This is first year as manager, and he's finally brought the Sam Maguire trophy back to Mayo. He'll never have to buy a drink in Mayo ever again.
What finally clicked for them this year? How did they go about breaking this curse, Luke?
Ollie, it's so bizarre because every other year Mayo have got to a final. They've been pretty much tipped from almost the start. They've always been favourites. They've had some of the best players in the country. This year, there was absolutely no hype around Mayo. Even up until the final, they got to the final, people thinking a lot of luck to get there. They're up against the reigning champions, Kerry, the most successful county of all time. But it just happened. It was real miracle stuff. As I said earlier, every single thing aligned, and it was just so good to watch.
For people who don't know about the curse, I think it was the last time you won it, you overtook a funeral, and the priest who was taking the funeral cursed the team that while everyone from the team was still alive, they would not win it ever again until...
That's it.
And then, and sadly, every single member of that team has now died. So in many ways, the curse was fulfilled. Wow. I didn't know curses were true.
It is the most Irish thing of all time, Charlie, isn't it?
I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
No, it is. It divides the nation. Half the people think it's a real thing. Half the people think it's a bit made up. But when you look at it, it's incredible. The last time Mayo got to an All-Ireland final was in 2021. And sadly, the final member of that team from 1951 passed away 2 weeks later. So it's the only time they've got to the final since that had happened. But the curse is broken, and I think that's all that the people of Mayo care about now. But it really is such an Irish thing.
And how have the celebrations been?
Dry. Very dry.
Very, very dry, I'm sure.
There's not a full keg in the entire county of Mayo.
the entire county has come to a standstill. Every time I go onto my social media, I have, bandwagoner friends not from Mayo. My brother went over there, even though he's not a Mayo man, put the Mayo jersey on. They're in every town across the place. The players have no voice. They seem to be doing karaoke in every little village and town over there. They're making the most of it. I don't think these celebrations are going any time soon. I'd say this is not going to be week long, month long. This is going to be year long. And, if it means another 75 years before the next one, they'll be enjoying this one.
Yeah, you've seen it now.
Yeah, I tell you what as well, I used to play a little bit of Gaelic.
Okay,
yeah,
mate.
a bit of a long time ago, but it also puts the sport very much on the map. I saw a lot of people with this kind of moment going, I have no idea what's going on here. But this is glorious. You see the scenes in the stadium, and that's the thing. It will put a spotlight on Gaelic too, and maybe bring in some new fans.
Yeah, 100%. And it's always about growing the game. You look at, there was actually quite a few videos in the World Cup which went viral on Spanish and Argentinian TikTok. And then over the course of the last few days, tens and tens of millions of views on the final moments. The commentary clip that you guys played earlier on, it was fantastic. But it's amazing. Like, Ollie, yourself, just watching it from playing it, it's such a special game. One of the two national sports over here in Ireland, completely amateur, although everything else about it, apart from players being paid, is professional when you look at the level of commitment, the athleticism. So it's amazing just bring more eyes on the game. And, we'll have to get you lads over for
I'd love that. Love that, yeah. We're happy to do an OB.
Once the kegs are back full, we'll come back over.
We can sort that, yeah, if Mayo hasn't drank them all.
Great stuff. Luke, thanks very much indeed, mate.
Perfect, Luke. Thank you.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you.
There we go. Luke Delaney, talkSPORT Ireland editor. Don't forget, for all those biggest stories from the Irish sporting world, you can check out talkSPORT Ireland. Plenty still to go. We've got some live racing on the way for you, and we'll chat some Test cricket. This is Clink and Baker on talkSPORT.
It has gone crazy, but I think that you almost have to just suspend your reality.
And not the worst things about this crazy spending. How many in the history of the Premier League have actually landed?
No, that's true.
One.
I would say of
Virgil
the most
van Dijk. One
of the most expensive players in the Premier League. Like Romelu Lukaku is on that list twice.
Yeah.
And he failed twice. Paul Pogba is on that list. Failed.
Harry Maguire's not failed, but
I mean, Andrei Shevchenko at one point would have been on that list. Failed. Fernando Torres at one point would have been on that list. Failed.
Yeah.
There are countless examples of players who have moved for huge amounts of money, come with that level of expectation. And
Declan Rice has lived up to it.
Declan Rice has most certainly lived
still
up to
too much, but he's lived up to it.
Well, Declan Rice is actually an interesting one because I would argue that if there is a £100 million player, Declan Rice is it. Declan Rice.
That's 100 million.
I think. Declan Rice has. Well, if you look at what Declan Rice has done since he's been at Arsenal, he won European silverware, uninspiring European silverware in my opinion, but he won European silverware at West Ham. He then went to Arsenal and was the catalyst to them ending a 20-year Premier League trophy drought. So yeah, I think if anybody is worth, he's been a stalwart of an England team that has had some relative success.
I almost think that's part of the problem. You're part of the problem then.
I'm part of the problem.
How can you say you think he's worth 100 million? Do you know how much that is? A 100 million pounds.
If anyone is worth 100 million pounds on a football pitch, it's obviously Declan Rice.
Yeah. Okay.
The Lions. Real-life fantasy rugby. Bitter rivalries set aside in a quest to create the world's best team in weeks. There's nothing like it, but who on earth had the idea and how did it all begin? Incredibly, the first Lions tour was organised and funded by three men who played in England's first ever Test cricket match. The 1888 Lions squad, then made up of 17 English, 4 Scots and 1 Welshman and a Northern Irishman, took a 46-day boat trip to New Zealand before heading to Australia. The next one was the first to get official recognition from the RFU against the newly formed Springboks. Although the Lions won the series and beat the Boks again 5 years later, in the 12 series since in South Africa, they've only won 2. New Zealand has proved an even tougher hunting ground, just the one series win for the Lions in 11 attempts, which came in 1971. And then there was that nail-shredding drawn series in 2017, only the second in Lions history. Only once have the Lions clinched a series after losing the first test, 1989, when David Campese's infamous ghost pass was pounced upon by Ian Evans. To borrow the phrase from Jim Telfer, the Lions is Everest.
Nassau's gone soul.
You play for Saltburn Cricket Club?
It's about as good as it gets. This is the beginning of the end. Funky Nassau.
Funky Nassau,
cool. Nassau Stakes next. That's
love it. I love it.
What a tune.
Brilliant stuff. This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT. We've got more racing for you from Glorious Goodwood. In just a moment, let's bring back in your commentary team, the former jockey Lizzie Kelly, alongside talkSPORT's Alex Crook. Just before I ask you about a couple of transfer stories, Crookie, I just want to hear from Lizzie on your last commentary. She's given you 6 out of 10 so far. What about the last one?
I thought it was a 7 if I was being generous.
He's moving up in the world, isn't he? Improving.
The journey of travel is correct.
We can't start going into decimal points. That just makes things too complicated.
That's true.
Very true.
It's complicated enough.
Exactly. You're doing a great job, Crookie, as always. Whilst I've got you, you're a man of many talents, of course. You are also our chief football correspondent. We were talking a bit earlier about the news that Real Madrid are expected to bid for Rodri. What's your read on that situation? How likely it is that Rodri could end up at Madrid?
Well, if you speak to sources at Manchester City, they're still confident they can persuade Rodri to sign a new contract. He's into the last year of his current deal, which obviously makes them vulnerable to a bid. They certainly wouldn't want to lose him on a free at the end of the season. But Real Madrid, for a Spanish player, they're a hard club to turn down, aren't they? So if that offer comes in, I expect Rodri to push for that move, and obviously Jose Mourinho sees a place for him in the engine room. He's been busy in the transfer market already since returning to the Bernabeu, and I think if he needed any convincing of what Rodri can offer, because he has had a couple of injury-disrupted years, just watch his performances at the World Cup. He was head and shoulders alongside Lionel Messi, the standout player for me.
And what's the latest with Bradley Barcola potentially going to Liverpool?
Well, I reported last night that he wants to make that move to Anfield. We're anticipating an opening gambit in terms of an offer from Liverpool. It won't be anywhere near, from what I'm told, the £145 million that PSG have put on his head. I think it'll be nearer £80 million, maybe with add-ons taking it close to 100. So negotiations to be done, but key, they have the player buy-in. He is stalling on signing a new contract in Paris. So again, maybe Liverpool have a lot of the power here.
And there's been some news coming out of the Premier League today. The clubs have unanimously voted to approve a funded proposal for a new strategic partnership with the EFL. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is something they've been pushing for some time, basically the distribution of wealth, more money going into the EFL from the Premier League. I think they've committed to 1.6 billion every 3 years. I've got a statement from the EFL saying they note the Premier League's position following a meeting with clubs early today. The EFL now look forward to receiving its formal proposal for consideration. This follows what they call constructive discussions involving the EFL, Premier League and the independent football regulator in recent months. So maybe we're seeing the first power of that independent regulator.
Great. So look at Crookie go. He's doing the horse racing at a 7 out of 10. He's doing his transfer reporting. He's on fire, isn't he?
He's a solid 6 or 7, whatever he does.
Yeah. Like Paul
John
Dummett.
O'Shea.
Yeah, John O'Shea,
of the
there you go.
broadcasting world.
Lizzie, I just want to bring you in on this next race. What are you expecting from it? Any tips for us?
I don't actually think that the favourite's going to be beaten here.
Okay.
She has amazing profile coming into this. A horse who has been exceptional, actually, at her level. She's won 3 Group 1s, sorry. She comes here today. She's easily got the best form of many of these. Friendly Soul is a horse who... She's a lovely horse. She's won her Group 1. She had an unfortunate... I don't know, what would you call it, an accident at Haydock, where she put her foot in a hole in the race course. And she then ran a really... Well,
bit embarrassing.
yeah, maybe she was a bit embarrassed, Charlie. I just don't know.
Do horses get embarrassed, Lizzie?
I'm sure she was very embarrassed that happened. And See the Fire hasn't won a Group 1 yet. She's desperately searching for one, but I don't think that this is going to be the opportunity for her today. She's going to be struggling, I think, up against a horse of the calibre of Diamond Necklace. Yeah. But funnily enough, Diamond Necklace, she does things. We kind of say, oh, she wins ugly. Like she's more than happy to get down and gritty and really fight. And I suppose the one thing that you would possibly say is, could you potentially try and beat her with a turn of foot?
Yeah.
But I think the jockeys will have to be really, really clever to make that happen.
Crookie, who's your tip for this race?
I'm all over the favourite as well,
shock.
but it's not much of a price now. 8 to 15. I mentioned it when Aidan and Ryan teamed up in one of the earlier races. I expected that price to crash, and it has. But it shows the market confidence. They've won one Group 1 already this week. Scandinavia, I thought, was really impressive. And from what I'm being told, they think Diamond Necklace could be even better. So with that in mind, I think it's very hard to see Diamond Necklace get beat. I know that Oisin Murphy is quite confident on See the Fire, but I think Lizzie's right. I don't think this is quite the day.
I used to be a big Diamond Necklace fan, and then it was a bit cringe when she stepped in that hole.
Oh yeah,
it was a bit that went off.
Can't go back after that.
I got the ick when she stepped in that hole. I was like, oh, a bit embarrassed for her.
Yeah, you can't support.
Can't go back. Can't.
Come on,
embarrassing.
Embarrassing for her, embarrassing for you.
Yeah, it was.
You're
embarrassing that you've missed the start, boys. They're off and running in the Nassau Stakes, the Group 1 over 1 mile and 2 furlongs, the feature race on day 3 here at Glorious Goodwood, and no surprise, at Moments of Joy, the pace setter really for Diamond Necklace has gone straight into the lead up the stand side. Friendly Soul in second place early on. The big favourite Diamond Necklace is in third, followed by See the Fire and Oisin Murphy, and then at the moment Batagos and Ray Dawson are occupying the 5th and final spot. They have gone through the first furlong, and it is still Moments of Joy, the second of the Aidan O'Brien stable, leading out in front. Friendly Soul in second. The favourite Diamond Necklace is probably 5 or 6 lengths off the pace at the moment in third place. And then the back two in the field, See the Fire and Oisin Murphy and Batagos. So Moments of Joy through the 3 furlong marker. Still has the lead by a couple of lengths to Friendly Soul and William Buick in second. Then comes those famous orange and blue Coolmore colours. Ryan Moore, a winner on the board already today. Diamond Necklace in third, and still the last two, Batagos, who's just nosed in front of See the Fire as they approach the downhill slope. Lizzie Kelly.
Yeah, everything's going pretty smoothly for the favourite Diamond Necklace at this stage. Oisin Murphy just wanting to make sure he stays in her slipstream on See the Fire.
Yeah, still Moments of Joy out in front. Friendly Soul running a good race in second, but Ryan Moore's not moved a muscle yet on Diamond Necklace, who's absolutely cruising now. Goes past his stablemate Moments of Joy, pretty much draws alongside Friendly Soul, who's being worked upon Diamond Necklace. And Friendly Soul, looks like these two are going to battle out, although See the Fire coming late for Oisin Murphy, but Diamond Necklace hits the front
going through the furlong marker. It's going to be another Grade 1 for Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore. Diamond Necklace sparkles on the Sussex Downs, wins the Nassau Stakes. Friendly Soul in second, See the Fire running on for third. But how impressive, Lizzie Kelly, was that?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. What a performance from such a likeable filly. She's done nothing wrong and she continues to collect the biggest prizes that she had in her locker now, and adding a Nassau Stakes to that illustrious list on her roster.
4 to 6 favourite in the end, Diamond Necklace. Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore winning this race for the third successive year. It was a really good run. He knew exactly, Ryan Moore, when to press the button. Good run with Friendly Soul in second for William Buick. See the Fire, as I said, running on for third, but another Group 1 success here at Glorious Goodwood. Diamond Necklace the winner. And another on the board for Ryan Moore.
Brilliant stuff. Crookie, did you give that tip to your daughter who's having a good day out at Goodwood today?
I did, but she spent all the money that I gave her on sweets. So, yeah.
Of course. You're obviously joking when you said that.
Probably a better investment.
No,
much better.
Absolutely. Crookie, thank you very much indeed. Racing TV, by the way, is the only channel showing every race live from the Qatar Goodwood Festival and Galway Festival this week. talkSPORT listeners can enjoy a free 1-month trial of the channel. Head to racingtv.com/free trial now. Terms apply.
Well, this is probably one that Darryl would be more interested in because it concerns his beloved Liverpool.
Don't sign him. Don't sign him.
You don't want him?
No, not for that kind of money, no. We need a central defender. We need another midfielder. Yes, we need a winger. They spent 100-odd million on him. They're not going to do any more. And we need a right back. I just think, I look at his figures and I look at where he is and whatever else. No, I'm not having it. Not having it. Nope. No.
Wow. See, I think he'd be a great addition to the Premier League. But in terms of the figures, obviously PSG were touting over the weekend. They wanted 145 million. I think the opening bid from Liverpool is going to be a lot less than that, maybe nearer the 80 to 100 million pound mark with add-ons. Will that be enough to persuade them to do business? Who knows? But Barker isn't signing a new contract as it stands, so PSG not necessarily in a strong position.
Why do you think he'll be a serious asset in the Premier League? Tell me what he can do in the Premier League. I've looked at all his data. I've seen his Champions League data. I've seen in France. Someone even put up a comparison with Cody Gakpo, and I'm not his biggest fan. And Gakpo was pretty much a This is Clink and Baker here on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink, Charlie Baker alongside me. Now we need to focus on a bit of cricket, Charlie.
Okay.
We did the local cricket scandal yesterday. We need to talk about the professional game today. So we're going to check in just a moment with Mark Butcher. First, there has been Very big news today if you're a Newcastle United fan like me. Eddie Howe has left the club. We've been asking for your texts and calls throughout the afternoon, and I'm sure they'll be chatting about it on Drive, which follows us from 4 o'clock. 03717223344. Sean is a Newcastle fan. Sean, how are you feeling, mate, as the day's gone on? Obviously, it broke a bit earlier this morning. How are you feeling about the fact Eddie Howe's left your club now?
Hello, lads. Well, I was on this morning. I rang in this morning and you guys called me just about 20 minutes ago to come back on. I'm angry, mate. I'm angry at the board. I've been angry at the board for a long, long time. And it seems like our fans, even some of the guys you have on your show, are so short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Every time something went wrong last season, it was Eddie's fault. They cannot see the bigger picture, and I'm so angry at our fans for hounding this bloke out. He's the best manager we've ever had, been around in the Keegan days, the Robson days. Howe's better. Eddie Howe's a better manager.
Yeah.
We won't get a better manager than him. Definitely not a better English manager. And I'm sorry, that's what Newcastle United fans like, English managers, because they get it. It's going to take a lot for a young German manager to understand the passion of the Geordies.
Yeah.
Let us tell you that now. And he'll hoist toys out the pram, and he'll be away halfway through the season.
Sean, just on the CEO, David Hopkinson, you said there that you're furious with him. What in particular has annoyed you the most about it?
Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? He's never been a CEO. He's a commercial marketing man who worked at Madison Square Garden in Real Madrid and is coming here within 11 months and ripped up everything that Eddie Howe built. Everything. And what has he done? He's done nothing. And I tell you what, he's a liar. I said this morning he lied about the Knox deal. Everyone was, it's a record deal. It's not. He's bringing in less money. He's getting rid of all the best assets so he can have a bit of money and maybe start again. He's hounded out the best manager we've ever had. And he has also fed into that negative fan narrative. Do you remember when he was like, we're not going to sack him yet, but maybe we'll wait and see till the end of the season? That was like him loading the gun.
It was like him putting him on trial, wasn't it, Sean? I remember that. And it kind of came after the Derby loss and loads of fans were very frustrated. But I think going back to Hopkinson, it's that 2030 comment, isn't it, which he made to talkSPORT, that Newcastle would be in and around the top teams in the world. I mean, what is he talking about? I'm with you that I think the board has to take a lot of responsibility with this. And look, you can be frustrated with some of Eddie's tactics and the way it went last season, but I do think at times he was dealt a really difficult hand.
It's the board, mate. It's been the board ever since Emmanuel Stabley left. If you look at it, we had 2 good transfer windows in the entire time they've been here, let's be honest. The very first one in January, when we had to, Eddie Howe brought them players in. The next one he brought in Isaac, Botman and Tonali. Class. Then we bring in the Pratt Paul Mitchell, who started all this trying to dip his toes in from a sporting director's point of view, trying to tell Eddie Howe, the manager, what to do.
Yep.
That's what started all of this.
Sold Elliot Anderson, sold Yankuba Minter,
Yes.
didn't sort out Isak's contract.
Yes. So every single transfer window, Eddie Howe has had incompetent board members and executives around him. I hope, Mr. Hopkinson, I hope you're listening to it, because I'd love to come in for an interview, because I guarantee I'd do a better job.
I will just
guarantee you.
I will just
absolute guarantee. He is hopeless, and I don't know why Newcastle fans see this suit and are just enamoured by it. They were the same with Paul Mitchell. When Eddie Howe was the one who's continued to pull up trees for her, has to front up all these stupid questions about things that the board are doing, and then the fans, who are mainly pro-takeover fans and little Facebook kids, get on the back of Eddie Howe because they just can't see the powers that are at play here. Eddie Howe has done everything by himself, and every time he's had a bit of help, it's hindered, not helped.
Yeah, 5 years is a pretty good run. And I will just say that the fact that you think he's a liar and Paul Mitchell a prat is Sean's opinion. Sean, what is a good season for Newcastle United?
So, actually, well, go back to that, David Hopkinson, right? How can you say he's not a liar? The Knox deal. He said it was a record-breaking deal. That's a lie.
Yeah, because he tied in the training ground with that. Yeah, he tied in the training ground.
Is that the truth or not?
Yeah, I understand that.
Is it the truth that it was a record?
Just aware we shouldn't be calling people liars on national radio. That's all. But you're allowed to, Sean. You're allowed to, Sean.
I know I'm allowed, and I will tell it to his face, because it if it's not the truth, it's a lie, isn't it?
Sean, great call. 03717223344. We can go to David, the West Ham fan. David, what's your thoughts on this sacking for Eddie Howe?
It's sad news. It's sad news for Newcastle, but as a West Ham fan, I'd take him at West Ham tomorrow.
Yeah. Would he make that jump down to the Championship? I'm not sure.
Maybe. Well, to come back down to the south, he's from down south, and I would take him at West Ham, even though he's his Permatan sidekick with him. I would take him at West Ham in a heartbeat, because I think he builds things, and West Ham have got now. They've got to rebuild, and I would take him to nurture that. There's a young group of players that won the FA Youth Cup a couple of years ago. I think.
There we are.
Oh, I might have lost David there.
I think he was in the car. I don't know. It wasn't crystal clear.
No, it wasn't. Wasn't quite. No, yeah. Maybe on the loudspeaker in the car. Potentially.
I think Eddie Howe's going to take a bit of a break. Yeah. Obviously, a good manager. The next move is pretty big for him.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the link to Everton, actually. That was a pretty good link.
It's interesting.
And we'll see how Thomas Tuchel gets on against... He's got to play Spain twice.
Yeah, I know.
World champions.
What, so you're saying if he loses to Spain
No, I'm not
twice?
saying any of it.
I think you are.
And I'm just saying I'd have...
Tip it up.
This is where I think giving Thomas Tuchel that new contract before the World Cup was slightly short-sighted. Because if you get into a situation where we are now... Then, you've got Pep available. You've now got Eddie Howe available. Both decent, good managers. Both offer different options. And you go, well, yeah, this is maybe where we should be looking.
Would you rather Eddie Howe or Pep Guardiola as England manager?
Well, that's good shout. I think Pep Guardiola. I think if Pep Guardiola is available and he manages your side, then I think you go for Pep Guardiola.
There we go.
But ask me again in 5 years.
I will. And I'll remember this answer right now. The Commonwealth Games is well underway. talkSPORT will bring you every moment of the game so far. Watching for us is John Cushing.
Yeah, Emily Campbell is in second place as the second half of the competition in the weightlifting, the women's 86 kilogram. The clean and jerk is now underway here at the Armadillo in Glasgow. I'm literally 10 yards away from where they lift these huge weights. The 2022 Commonwealth Games champion, double Olympic medalist, of course, with her special bright red hair. She always has special hair whenever she's competing. Braided on the top, flowing like a lion's mane at the back this afternoon in bright England red colours. She lifted 115 kilograms in the snatch, but she failed in one attempt. I'm whispering because they can literally hear me across the way. So at the halfway stage, New Zealand's Tui Alofa-Patola, who'd also lifted 115 but without a fail, led the way. Now 115 kilograms is about 17 stone, the weight of a baby killer whale or a big French door fridge freezer. That's how much they're lifting. Now we're in the clean and jerk, where you lift it to your chest and then you stamp and spread your legs, of course, to lift it above your head. Now, she's failed, Patola, in one attempt at 135. She failed at 136, so she's on 245 points in total. So that's what Emily needs to be. And in fact, Siti Draman of Malaysia has just lifted 138 kilograms in the clean and jerk, so she's leading at the moment. Emily is aiming to lift 145 kilograms. That's 23 stone, and that is the size of a baby elephant. She is imminently, I think Etta Love from Canada is about to come out and lift again. She's currently second, but Emily Campbell going for gold here, of course, in the weightlifting. Now, very quickly, some other sporting headlines. When do you win a gold medal and a silver medal and then you don't? When you have to rerun the race again. A major controversy at these games in the athletics, because Scotland's Mel Woods and England's Ellis Cottas has been told they have to go again in the T54 wheelchair 1500 metre final tomorrow, after judges decided an appeal following an earlier crash in the race last night that was successful, and they need to and it needs to run again. Team England say they're incredibly disappointed. And at the track cycling this afternoon in the velodrome, as Devi Marban of India comes in to lift her weightlifting, at the track cycling women's team sprint final will be England versus Wales, and in the men's team sprint it will be England against Australia in the gold medal final. There are tickets still at Glasgow2026.com. This is the Commonwealth Games, and it's live across the talkSPORT network.
Expert whispering from John Cushing.
Professional whisperer.
Yeah. Tickets
very good. Do you think you could lift a baby whale?
I'm not sure.
Or a large French door freezer.
Where did John get all those measurements
That was
from?
great, wasn't it?
Fantastic, isn't
Do you
it?
think you could do that, lift above your head?
Frantically Googling.
Ever
Baby
lifted a
elephant.
well above your head? Ollie,
I haven't. Have you?
Anything of similar size?
No. Maybe a dumbbell of that. Dumbo the dumbbell? I'm not
Who
sure.
do you think you could lift at talkSPORT
That's a good
above
question.
your head?
Rory Jennings.
Rory Jennings,
because he looks like a 12-year-old child.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, he's coming up from 4, by the way.
Some 12-year-olds are massive.
Yeah, but is Rory the only presenter whose legs dangle off the chair when he's presenting?
That's a shame. This is sad.
Yeah,
This feels like
true.
beef.
It's
I didn't
true,
mean
though.
it to turn into beef.
That's fine. He'll say much worse about me for the next
You
3
could
hours.
lift Jeff Stelling above your head because he is 5'7", right? Jeff Stelling.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's all muscle.
Yeah, big time.
I think
he's heavier than he.
He'd be dense to carry. I don't think you could lift him up.
You've called Jeff Stelling dense?
No,
well.
dense. I think he'd be all muscle. I think he'd tough to lift.
The thing is, the headline will be Baker calls Stelling dense.
Jeff knows it's all love. Me and Jeff, it's all love.
He does indeed. Charlie, you are off away. You're not on tomorrow, is that right? You're
not on tomorrow. Who've you got tomorrow?
I've got Luke Moore tomorrow.
Luke Moore,
which is
very nice
exciting.
indeed.
Yeah, from the Football Ramble. So looking forward to that. But
lovely.
where are you heading out to?
I'm not going to tell you because why should I tell you my private business, Ollie?
That's a good point.
Why would you ask me private stuff on air?
Yeah, I don't know because we've got a minute till drive.
That's right. I was more interested in what you can lift over above your head.
What can you lift? Who would you lift?
Who do you think I could lift above my head? Goldstein. I think I could lift Goldstein.
Oh, you could
above
lift
my head.
Goldstein. Yeah.
Cundy. Bad hips. He'd complain about his hips.
Do you think Goldstein would say that he could lift some people and then
I don't know,
he'd get a little injury before the lifting competition?
He's a very skilled broadcaster.
Yeah. He would say here, carry a lot of shows, though, don't I?
It was good though when he lost 10-0 on that pool game.
Yeah.
That was good fun.
I can tell you that Rory Jennings, who is about to take talkSPORT Drive, is pointing and shouting at me through
Lift him up.
the grass. Yeah.
Go out there and lift him up.
He needs to be careful.
See if you can lift him above your head live on air.
I absolutely
People
can.
would tune in for that.
Do you know what? I might stick around just to show that I can do it. Charlie, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
I've loved it, Ollie. You've been brilliant. Thank you very much.
Coming up next is the tiny Rory Jennings alongside Adi Oladipo on talkSPORT Drive.
Eddie Howe, we understand, is to leave his position as Newcastle manager after 5 years in charge at St James's Park. It looks like this is as much Eddie's decision as it is the club's. I know there's been frustrations in the transfer market with various potential deals falling through. Obviously, Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali, potentially Bruno Guimaraes leaving the club. And it looks like Eddie Howe has decided now is the right time for him to take a break. So Eddie Howe to leave Newcastle, we understand at talkSPORT, after 5 years in the job. Coming in to replace him potentially is the German Matthias Yassel, currently coaching over in the Saudi Pro League with Al Akli. So this could develop very quickly.
Yeah, thanks for that, Cookie. Let's stay there. We've got questions for you. I mean, this is absolutely huge for so many reasons. One is the fact that the start of the Premier League is only, 3 weeks away. Where does this leave Newcastle now?
Well, as I say, they're moving quickly. Just got a message from my colleague Ben Jacobs that Yassel will be the new manager. That deal is already agreed. So I guess a smooth transition in that regard, but it's not ideal, is it? Just a few weeks before they play Liverpool. I'll be there at St James's Park on that first